Alright, time to pick up where we left last time onto chapter 10. So it's going to start off on Raven's chapter because I actually did have to select a chapter before it saved. So we're just gonna go immediately into Raven's bit. Let me get myself set up real quick before we commit. But yeah, last episode I thought was nearly done, but I guess not. I guess we have 2 more chapters to go, which is okay. Hopefully I live past chapter 10 and get myself an ending for the next chapter. Oh hey Kaz! How you doing? Not good? Damn. Well, hopefully just reading will help calm down the situation. Help you out a little bit. In the south, where the Civil War did not rage, Skia had just had its coldest season. Yeah, this is the same game. We're going through the next chapter. And yeah, I completely relate to that, Kaz. Sometimes you just want to do something, but you just can't. The role of nature was much greater than the politics of any age. Men defined it in terms of deities and summed up innumerable unenlightened rituals, worshipping it at every festival of sowing, growth, and harvest for mercy.
Benchen.
Yeah, with the Discord messages and server, it's like, you're not having a great week so far. Mercy. Whether from Botru or the other one, it is not needed anymore. We can survive on this planet on our own. As long as there is a belief in science, nothing is impossible for us to figure out. Hey, Thea, how you doing? Just in time for the next episode. Lard teased his daughter with the chocolate donut in his free right hand. Oh, you're making the cafe? Hell yeah. You're gonna have to show me when it's done. No problem. I'll call you next week if there's a breakthrough, of course. Good day, and please tell your wife that her wine is better than the aged ones on the estate. A loud laughter burst through the phone as Lagarde put the receiver back. He lay down on the comfortable couch. The little girl had already taken the donut from her father and was licking her chocolate-covered fingers. Is this still the spell research project you're funding? Lagarde was a researcher? What? Hey, this is a perfect time to link up then. You're both in here. I'm just reading.
Alive.
Yes, my dear. But it's not a witch spell. Well, it's not just. Now those sorcerers who are said to perform miracles, turns out they are only common men who have accidentally learned some secret law of nature. We, on the other hand, are about to unravel the mystery. If we can apply the law and fully grasp the Frasian language, we will bring about the greatest technological change of the century. Nah, Kaz, your input is great. Remember the input you did for my ship yesterday? About removing those 2 blocks? That was some great advice. And I'm not saying it just to say it. Lagarde smiled at Aurora, whose eyes shone in the glow of the fireplace. His wife only shook her head helplessly.
But
That's just a legend, isn't it? Well, I don't know what you men are up to, but don't go overboard, okay? What you're saying scares me. I think there's always something we're supposed to be in awe. It did! You have to have a little... you have to have a little more faith in your husband, Aurora. You see, the Knell vaccine has been developed in the past few days in Skia. The so-called divine punishment has not yet been conquered by human beings. Science is the driving force for human progress. It did, which was like what I was trying to go for with the ship. Godhrkar stood up with a smile, his hands around his wife's waist. The woman giggled and quickly put the plate on the table before her hands knocked it over.
A lie.
All right. I won't say anything. Here, try this. I made it the way our neighbor taught me. Skia wrote, "I'll wash your hands first." Hearing the ring, Skia wrote, who had already washed her hands, put down her pudding bowl and turned to the door.
Sharote.
Don't worry, Skia wrote. My dear, is that your guest?
Oh.
Oh, Rorty, open the door. It's your Mr. Glasses. Remember when I took Skirot to Illy City last year for a thorough examination? The results were announced today. I didn't expect them to be here so soon. I suppose it's good news. Dude, yesterday I literally thought this was like the last chapter. No, actually, yesterday episode was actually the third chapter to the end. And I'm sitting here like, oh shit, I have 2 more chapters to go through. In my defense though, I hadn't played this game in like 2 months. And I'm just now making an effort to like finish the game. Yeah, 2 months. I know it's bad. Hey, I was hanging out with you guys for those 2 months, okay? Perfect excuse. Godhrkar rubbed his hands together and looked at the door, even though he was talking to his wife. There was a bright light in his face, like a student waiting for his aunt's offer. The room had a roaring fireplace, and hot air that smelled of freshly baked bread and milk filled it.
Ashalai.
Good evening, Miss Skyro.
Glotzy.
You're having your honeymoon? Hell yeah. Long time no see, Miss Skyro. Mr. Godhrkar, sorry to call you on so late, but it's been a long night.
It's a lie.
Good evening, Miss Simel. While Hector was talking, Aerith bent down and wiped the chocolate off her knuckles.
Alive.
Whoa, wait, so soon? Oh wait, or too late. I don't know when we got married. I forgot. It's okay. The traffic here is a bit poor, I know. We wouldn't be here if not for a vocation. Come inside and warm up. Try my wife's pudding. Oh, this is my wife, Aurora Kaladu Weiston.
Troisalik.
Good evening, madam. Please sit down and forgive my poor entertainment. Aurora took out a tin box from the coffee table, swept in the blocks, and put the toy harp on the table. The guests from the order waited for her to finish tidying up before sitting. Then the virtuous and tidy housewife brought in hot tea. I mean, I guess it is fun, but I just now discovered we are, but okay. Try it. This is a very good ovo tea. I managed to get some from a friend. Well, forgive my eagerness. Sir, miss, will your message be as good as this tea? Hector turned to Aerith. The red-headed girl hesitated for a moment before taking a sealed letter from her purse and handing it to Godhrkar. Aurora seemed nervous, her eyes moving uneasily between her husband and the guests. But I didn't know we were having our honeymoon today. I don't mean to be rude, but can I ask what kind of test you ran on Skyro?
Star alive.
Rest assured, it is not dangerous. With Hector's words came a soothing smile from the younger girl behind him. She appeared to be in her early teens, with tiny freckles speckling her fair skin. Lagarde straightened up and looked at Aurora. My dear, please take her back to her room. My guests and I have some professional things to talk about.
Shang.
But Aurora looked at her husband and opened her mouth. But in the end, she said nothing. Lagarde touched his daughter's head and pushed her towards Aurora with a smile. The mother, pale and hesitant, looked at her husband and daughter once more, then finally took the girl to her bedroom. Minecraft keeps muting me? Why is that?
Why?
Well, now it's time to talk about Skyrim's results. Forgive my wife. She is always too worried about her little girl. Lagarde leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees. The sheets of paper, including those from the envelope, lay neatly on the table. He had probably read it all with terrible efficiency. As you can imagine, your daughter has a prodigious gift for melody. A gift that is hard to come by in a million metamorphoses. But I would like to say that we hope you will be careful to take this rare talent seriously, to explore and cultivate her potential.
Bullshit.
Fear star balls.
With your help, there has been a great deal of progress recently with new Frasian words. I may not have as much time to get back and forth. Arif Semel will be our courier for communication. Miss Semel, though still young, will soon be one of our finest.
Ah.
I have no doubt about it.
Rexis.
Nice to work with you, Mr. Weiston.
Ring too, Jeng.
Of course, Miss Mel. Since seeing the card, the professor had been unable to direct Lagarde's attention to anything else. He answered casually, his eyes shining like two small pieces of burning charcoal.
Oh, bullshit.
I will. I am very grateful, Professor Caplet, Miss Simone, for this miraculous news. I'm glad that Skyrot has such talent. She is an Yishtsampal from Votru. You can't imagine how happy I am. You can't imagine how happy I was. Lagarde lowers his voice as the final note of his word is swallowed by a whistle. The train sways frequently. It runs along a wooded railway, with dry branches silently sweeping the windows. I was wrong to believe that bitch. Pardon me. They were actually a branch of a much larger, evil organization. A bunch of damn, hateful, parasitic wasps waiting for me to raise my daughter to be a great singer before snatching her from my arms. He pounds his fist on the table, and the teacups clatter in their saucers. Raven holds his breath, his eyes wide like a child watching a storm sweep across the land. A deep red flush crosses Lagarde's face. The man seems to be immersed in his own world, triggered by memories. He purses his upper lip to reveal saliva-stained teeth, and angry blood vessels flutter behind the corners of his eyes.
Rigar Musam!
Damn bitch! Viper! She deserves to be punished! How dare she! How dare she! Lagarde grabs his empty teacup and crushes it. Shocked, Raven jumps off the couch. After only a second, he looks around but can't find a medical kit. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. After all these years, I still can't get it out of my head. As if the color of blood and the pain in his hand finally awaken him, Lagarde lowers his voice slightly as he sits back on the couch, exhausted.
Bullshit.
Thank you, Raven. I'm sorry you had to see the worst of me, and I'm sorry I couldn't say any more. I thought I could handle it calmly. He breaks into a wry smile, then reaches over and rubs the student's head.
Why?
Please forgive a father who lost his daughter. I cannot ask you to accept my revenge, nor can I ask you to be our partner. But I hope we are not just a bunch of evil thugs to you. Please remember, Raven, that all hatred has a reason.
Mother steer.
No, Mr. Weiston, I understand how you feel. A fishy smell overtakes his nose and almost makes him gag. Raven coughs twice, digesting the smell of blood in Lagarde's words and on his hand. At last he can understand the surge of emotion from the tired old man. because they have all been betrayed by the people they trusted. Look, Raven, Pry did not betray you. If you had literally just stayed, he would have saved you. God damn it.
Cure.
Do you know? Sometimes, even if we know where the disease is, we can't cure it. The risk of surgery is even more deadly. As a result, many patients opt for palliative care, numbing the pain with anesthetic and pretending to be unaware of the death hovering above their heads. Just like I was. He allows himself to ignore the signs and be willing to spin the lies.
Mojer steer.
Betrayals are like diseases. We have plenty of time to find and deal with them. Unfortunately, I deceived myself before things had gotten so far out of hand. Raven's hand stops for a moment.
Odish.
Sorry, I'm just saying stupid things.
Oh, fear Morie.
I wouldn't call a young man's mental analysis stupid. It's interesting and true. When the betrayer has earned enough trust that he no longer has to pretend, the victim will be happy to do it for him. Raven keeps his head down, trying not to sniffle.
Ves Weizen.
I don't want to seem like I'm complaining. I just want to know what I should do after I've learned the truth. What could be done to face the situation rationally? How could he put it down his reverence, their years in the Kajan Mountains, and stand opposing his closest friend, his gentlest brother? What should he do to stop his hands from bleeding and save him from the depths of hell? Young Crisis has never been my area, but now that you've come to your senses, can you see him the way you saw him before? I'm afraid that's no longer possible. You've pulled out the needle of anesthesia. Can you put it back in?
Vincent.
I'm sorry, son, but I can't tell you what to do. The only thing I see is that you've made your choice. For a moment, there is nothing but the scraping of glass and metal. Lagarde turns his face to the window to avoid the pain on Raven's face.
Mblotzi.
Thank you, Mr. Wyston. I know what to do. They suddenly hear the loud vibration of a metal pipe, followed by a long whistle. White steam clouds a window, like mist from a whale's blowhole. There's a hiss from the door. Raven looks back to see a dark figure appear behind the glass.
Oh?
Who's there? Before Raven knows it, he is dragged back by Lagarde. The man washes away his previous dejection and takes out a revolver from the shadows in the ceiling. He grabs Raven by the wrist, blood oozing from under the gauze. Relax. It's me. As Raven watches, Rorty slips through the door with a blast of wind, followed by Gal Warnock. Why, what are you confused about? Don't play around like that, Rorty. My heart's not as strong as yours. Life? Sometimes same. Rorty does not care about his irritation and smiles triumphantly. Gal reaches over to the coffee table and grabs a piece of the honey almond.
Elaine.
No need to be alarmed. We're partners, aren't we? Trust us more. Besides, you should be glad we're so stealthy.
Coffee.
Alright. Any news?
Steer.
Lagarde still doesn't look well, but he holds on. Rorty raises her chin and motions to Gal, who frowns and turns his eyes away from the snack box. He juggles something in his hands. Raven can't see what the man is doing, but he does see the picture between his index and middle fingers. Gal throws the photograph at Lagarde's face like a dart, but Lagarde catches it. Raven cranes his neck to spy. It looks like it was taken with a portable camera at a tricky angle. Apparently, Gal was trying his best to avoid being caught. Raven recognizes the place. It is in the alley near the docks. There are two men in the picture, one of whom is Turna Keshtazai, the famous suspect who appeared in the newspaper so recently. Ooh, is it good? Is it a good perfume? On the other side stands a woman. More impressive than her long, light hair is the blindfold. More impressive than her long, light hair is the blindfold hidden under her bangs, which Raven has not seen for a long time. The woman has only one eye.
Oi.
I followed Tourniquet's eye all day yesterday and took this picture before he returned to the chapel. I guess it wasn't a coincidence, was it?
Ah.
If it's her, it can't be a coincidence. Lagart speaks again at last. His voice is curiously suspended, with a slight shudder in it.
Alright, Turjang.
Very good. You did very well. As we thought, there she is at last. Oh shit. Somebody's about to die, aren't they? Do I want Let's Cereal or do I want Aerith? You know, it is a good follow-up since they did find Aerith. The dull, hurried syllables from the telegraph echo in the warm room. It is Molnaton's summer house, where everything is in just the right place. After Finley became the team leader, they used it as a safe house. I know, the art is beautiful. The fire in the room is already burning, the soft orange glow hot upon their faces. Aerith goes to the desk with the telegraph, copying out the code as she heard. Shuhite sits on a sofa and gently thumbs through files. As the code gets longer and longer on the page, the hidden sentences start to emerge. Song of Hallel, an offering to Yishthempal, Valkyrianit. Any news from Thalazak?
Where, steer?
I'm checking. And you? Find anything new? Shuhite nods. He is so engrossed on the sofa that he's nearly been buried under a mountain of old newspapers. He pulls one out of the pile and handed it to Aerith. I'm not sure if it's the same person, but... Look here, Aerith. The star of Stella's from 10 years ago is a female singer known as Morning Star. Aerith reaches out and takes the old 1533 paper, where the indelible black ink outlined the simple ads. Stella's Club number 1, the Morning Star, sings overnight. All the first-class seats have been sold out. This is the last chance. Don't miss it. Aw, thank you, Cage. Underneath the headline is a little portrait of a beautiful woman with enchanting eyes. Even though it's only a black and white photograph, her aggressive beauty is palpable. If it was coupled with a great voice, then she is indeed a morning star.
Z.
It would be interesting if she's the very singer we're looking for. If she really has been singing publicly for many years, why hasn't there been any talk of a singing curse happening? What takes her from a mild-mannered singer to a sadistic killer? There must be that something made her... Shuhite understands what Aerith left unsaid. He looks down at the pile of books at his feet. They were all taken off the shelves the previous night, and most are covered in dust. He is still amazed at the untold knowledge within, and might have thought them more mere tales if he hadn't witnessed such strange things. Yo, why is my screen glitching out? Jesus Christ. Shuhite crouches down, scanning through a book he marked. This ancient book holds a strange kind of writing, evolved from an almost lost language. Frasian.
train.
Is it possible that she knew nothing of herself or of Frasian before? Because if she didn't know the language and used it to sing, it wouldn't naturally lead to melody events.
Say.
That makes sense. So, we can reasonably assume that someone taught her Frasian. Aerith opens an analysis of the intonation of Frasian at Shuhite's feet. It was written a few years prior by the Verathesis Order under the auspices, in which the infecting songs were all well sorted. Different tones represent different effects, and the concept tone, based on Kaor tone, is more dangerous and powerful than any others. Indeed. It's more dangerous than any of the cases we met before. Could that be the melody? Is a singer alone capable of such vast conspiracy? Aerith's not so sure. Morningstar, the fisherman at the dock, Gilbert Fowlong. All the incidents are connected in so many almost random ways that they must be driven by financial and human resources. Meanwhile, in the telegram, Hector informs them of the results of their investigation. Nothing. No singer from Illy City would be singing at Baptism Festival. But it doesn't make sense. The song is a sacrifice to the other one's Yishtampal to bring evil upon the world, and they must have large enough audiences or sacrifices to make the curse of the song fully work. And the song would have to be performed by a group of people. A curse of such magnitude could not be performed by one person. She'd need a band to play with. Aerith turns and looks out the window. The previous night's downpour didn't put out all the evidence. The still running water, swept up by the wind, carried into the aftermath of the chaos, and sent out into the streets in an atmosphere that is even more chilling than the winter. Illy City is in chaos, and the singer they are looking for has already gone to their basement camp. At least the first goal, to rescue Turna Keshdasai, has been achieved, and there's no point in staying any longer. It would only put Shuhite in danger, which she could not allow. Time to go back. What? I'm sorry, but we have to leave this little nest. Illy City is no longer safe. We're taking a train back to Talazak tonight. Shuhite leaps off the couch, almost knocking over the stacks of book and paper. The young man looks at her without restraint, conveying a confidence he isn't even aware of. Aerith smiles and goes over to the young scholar to fix his collar. Can you accompany me somewhere? You'll have to dress up. The oldest and most luxurious theater in Skia, the Lethal Opera House, sits in the midst of a bleak street but still maintains its stately appearance. A red carpet extends from the door and down to the edge of the road. It has hosted well-known foreign troops for many years, and a number of troops from Erstarine Islands regularly tours the whole country in the name of Lethal Opera House in Promland. Or maybe the orchestra who worked with Morning Star is the same. Aerith had been thinking of another possibility. Usually, the church wouldn't list all the orchestra members' names individually, but by sections. That may be how she hid her name. So, once they identify the orchestra she's working with, they'd be able to find her. So, are we just going to go in? Aerith points to his check, reminding him to behave like a noble. Shuhite quickly hides his embarrassment, adjusting his expression as he curls his arms so she could take it as they stroll into the opera house.
Hello, Dave.
Thank you for calling, Mrs. Mulnathan. You're looking for a band to attend your husband's cocktail party, am I right?
Z.
Oh, yes. She gives the special envoy a casual look, and Shuhite responds with a smirk of triumph. Aerith snuggles up next to him, playing the role of an extravagant wife. We always look forward to the big cocktail party at the end of the year, right?
Zia.
Of course, darling. Smiling, Aerith uses her peripheral vision to warn Shuhite, who has nearly bitten his tongue.
We are steer.
Lethal Opera House is one of our favorite theaters. You must have some great orchestras here to choose from.
Kirsleitrein.
As for the price, that's not a concern. Please, go ahead.
Arti Blotzi.
Yes. You see, we don't care how much you ask for, as long as the band meets our demand. Of course. Lethal has always worked with only the best orchestras. We'll provide plenty of options. For example, Phila, The Sound of Peace, our 20-year-old ensemble.
Yarline.
And the Collingshire Classics, which I know is not a very fancy name and doesn't sound very presentable, but you can just announce that they belong to Lethal. The name is not the main issue, and the beautiful music they play will surely move your hearts. Let me see.
Claudia Citro.
These are all good. By the way, what tone do you prefer, dear? Definitely Teor. I completely forgot. Do you have any bands that are, well, good at Teor tone? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid it's a must.
Yeah, for sure.
You have a very unique taste, madam. Let me take a look for you. There must be at least one. We have orchestras here from all over the country. Here it is. Pearl Shell. It's a local orchestra.
Say.
Great. Then this is it. Wait, ma'am. I'm afraid.
Claudia Citro.
You've just heard from my husband that money's not an issue. It's
Steer.
not a question of money. With all due respect, Pearlshell hasn't been very stable lately, and several of the old members have tendered their resignations this year. And there's been some trouble with our contracts. Yeah, I did.
We are steer.
As long as the level is high enough to meet our requirements, you can rest assured that everything will be fine. But I would like to ask who their lead singer is now. That's the second trouble, ma'am. The Pearl Shell is now sponsored to play in this year's Baptism Festival in Holy City, and I don't think they'll be back for a while.
Steer.
As for the lead singer, they found a singer by the name of Charlotte Fricher. I'm afraid... That's it. Aerith remembers the Pearl Shell Orchestra on the telegraph. The trail of Morningstar has finally surfaced.
Artiblotzi.
Fine. Could you offer us the generous benefactor's address? What, are you trying to...
Kiersleitrein.
Let's talk to the sponsor first. If we're satisfied, we'll just sign the contract. At last, the manager gives in and walks over to the trash bin.
Steer.
As it happens, the sponsor sent an invitation this morning. Pardon me, ma'am, but no one usually comes looking for that band. An invitation? It sets off an alarm in Aerith's mind. Oh my god, English. That sets off an alarm bell in Aerith's mind. She examines the dark envelope. It's smooth and light. No needles or blades at the corners. Before Shuhai can reach for the gloves, Aerith peels off the gold-plated varnish. She unfurls the invitation, and a photograph falls into Aerith's hand, which she holds up for them to see. It's a photograph of them on the previous day when she and Shuhai were at Stella's club with Turna, whose face was oh my god, it wasn't me this time. Whose face has been blotted out with ink, leaving a ghostly omen to them. Yo! There's a beautiful and elegant line in the invitation. When the blackbird sings and mourns, the marauders will be reaped for their unjust gain. It got broken because one of the words was misspelled. It broke me up. I was sitting there like, what? I tried to understand the sentence, and I was like, what is the replaceable word? And it was like, oh. She recognizes the handwriting. How could she not? When she just joined the school and was assisting with the compilation of the language materials of the Metamorphers, their sponsor had written in a similar handcrafted font.
Lagarde Whiteson.
Oh my god, she said his name herself. Sometimes I wonder why this game isn't fully voice acted. To the Armagad Chapel. Hurry! As soon as they climb into the hired limousine, Shuhai hastens the driver to Turna's place. The invitation is a letter of war, not an accidental exposure. She knows that Lagarde Weiston has stepped out onto the stage under the light to stand against them. In a clear message, the man who lost his daughter is openly declaring that he wants revenge, and Turna is to be the first victim.
Hey!
Get out of the way! Several people suddenly jump out in front of the moving car. Fortunately, the driver hits the brakes, though one of the men is caught off guard and slams into the window. The ragged man doesn't bother about the driver shouting. He grabs the top of the car with his left hand, bends his other elbow, and swings hard against the window. Their first hit creates a spider-web crack in the glass. Without hesitation, a second elbow lands right in the center of the crack. Look out!
Sigh.
Help! Shards of glass spread across the narrow space, and Shuhai lunges at Aerith to shield her. Tiny shards land in their hair and brush their coats, leaving faint streaks of the man's blood, but most of it is blocked by Shuhai's arm. The man retracts his elbow and reaches for the door handle. He isn't asking for help. He's carjacking them.
Out there!
Keep driving. Go! The emergency breaks Shuhai's calm. The next moment, the car lurches forward. However, the man refuses to give up and holds onto the car with one hand while reaching for them with the other. But Arif doesn't give him time. She grabs the man's hand and holds it down, clutching tightly to prevent him from escaping. The thug lets out a scream and blood trickles down the gap between him and the window. Only then do they notice the man is wounded.
Too close.
Who are you? Did Wyston send you?
Huh?
Wyston? Oh, wait, I'm begging you.
Sure.
Just a minute, Arif. The man is weak from being dragged by the vehicle. Shuhite motions for her to sit back, and he pulls the injured young man into the car. I'm Hoito. Just send me to the police. I'd rather be handed over to the fucking cops. Arif raises her eyebrows. It is quite an unbelievable demand. He has an unfamiliar name and face, but the tattoo at his neckline catches her eye. You're Buckers?
Moja stier.
Yes, damn it. We're being attacked by those crazy sailors. Even the barbarians are chasing us. For the sake of Botru, I don't want to die at their hands. Please, take me to the police. At least I'll be able to live in the jail. She won't do it. Wait, what did you ask her to do? Aren't you with Wyston?
Huh?
Wyston? Lagarde Wyston? That son of a bitch! If I knew where the fuck he is, I'd gut him alive.
Tuaniak!
This fucking patron is using us. Just as the barbarians were taking over our docks, the same man came to us and offered us money to feed the dockers, give them food and a club performance, and record their health like a goddamn breeder. I should have known there's no such thing as a free ride. Only half the money was paid, and they took his dumb daughter away. Many of us followed him, and the rest were left behind, or as they put it, exiled, like me. Ugh. The display comes to an end with Hoito groaning in pain. Shuhite frowns and pulls a tourniquet from the medicine chest. Arif gives him space to lean against the window and look up again. She's inspired by Hoito's energetic demonstration, and a bold plan starts to take shape in her mind.
Masp.
Stop the car. The car pulls to the side of the road. When Shuhite hears the commotion, he turns around and puts his hand on hers.
I'll keep it.
Arif, wait. I'm coming with you. Arif already has one foot out the car and slowly pulls her hand from his. She looks into Shuhite's red eyes, where she can see herself, a pale, cold woman. She is at the end of her rope. If only Shuhite could see the hidden meaning in her expression. But as usual, she doesn't want to say any more.
Feel.
Your mission is taking him to the police. Was that even her own voice? Arif isn't so sure. It's as if the burden transformed into a human form, giving orders in her voice, while her own soul remains locked in a dark room, unable to speak or see. Her mind reels, caught up in the chaos of her own struggle with the outside world, and the only thing holding her together is her duty to remain calm. That is her duty to the Order, to Terna and to Shuhite. It isn't clear to Arif that the responsibility she holds in her hand will always lead her way, but it's the only real thing she has. Their priority is finding a way out of the dangerous abyss without implicating anyone else. They need to return safely to Thalazak. I know how to deal with that Lagarde Wyston. Take him to the police, and I'll meet you at the train station tonight. But... She puts the ticket into his hand. Shuhite tries to reach out, but he misses the chance. He can do nothing but watch as she closes the door. Arif, who knows what Shuhite is thinking, turns and smiles.
Moja stier.
Don't worry. I'll bring Terna back from the chapel. Meet you at the station. We're going back to Thalazak tonight to stop all this. The chess game has begun, and Arif has to bet everything on her plan. Sorry. It's her responsibility to get Terna and Shuhite back to end the conspiracy.
Kuarshnivia.
I promise you. Wait. My entire system's freaking out. I don't know why. My stuff be old. Okay. I can go to Easton or I can go to Let Serial. You know what? I'm gonna see what Let Serial's up to. You couldn't type? What happened? New Day's sun shines down on his back. Let Serial breathes slowly and escapes the ice and threat of death. He rushes to Yanie's house. You thought that was your system? No, that was me. My entire thing is breaking tonight. I don't know what's going on. He's like a wandering ghost with his heart aching so much that he can no longer feel it. It isn't until the voices of the crowd on the main road fills his ears that he awakens. Like a ghost afraid of the sun, he ducks into the side alley. However, in the decadent silence, he hears another sound beyond his own footsteps. His pursuers. He quietly retracts his steps and turns right, followed by a left, a right, a left and a right, faster and faster. The road becomes more remote, but the footsteps follow him everywhere. He begins to run while his mind works fast, deciding to use his knowledge of the terrain to shake off the pursuers, from STLS or the thugs he provoked, or even the police. He has been chased hundreds of times, but now it's a big deal, no matter who it is. A high wall appears, surrounded by residential buildings. In this dark corner is a pile of garbage, stacked as high as a little mountain. A dog's body lies in one side the trash, with its pale eyes open, like a silent mourning for the desperate boy. Let Serial, however, does not slow down. He props his hand on the lid and rolls over the wall like a cat. He runs into the crowd and glides through the people. When he finally turns back, the footsteps no longer follow. After checking his surroundings, he climbs up the outer balcony to Yanie's apartment, disregarding his partner's warning. Who cares? He's still doing it. But this time, when he jumps into the living room, he suddenly hears a strange sound from the bedroom. He leans against the wall, peering through the half-closed door. His friend Yanie is being manhandled by some strong men who use rough rope to fasten him to the chair. Even with a gag in his mouth, Yanie's still swearing. The only thing Let Serial admires about him is his unnecessary courage, and he instantly recognizes the thugs as those who surrounded Tulane's godfather days before.
Sigh.
Speak. Where the hell is that asshole?
Twanyak.
Damn, could you find him yourself? I don't know. Ugh!
Masand.
Little bastard. Then comes the sounds of fists. Let Serial slides silently behind the wall, staring at the furniture, wooden tables, a sofa, benches, empty liquor bottles. What the hell is he supposed to do? Besides, he isn't our only objective. With a splash, a bucket of cold water is dumped on Yanie's head. You think you can get away with using that little bastard? Don't be ridiculous. You know Dawn hates betrayal.
Seleno.
So why don't you tell me exactly when you hooked up with those northern savages and what your plan is? You might as well ask how many Hokarikans that son of a bitch Murphy massacred 5 years ago.
Yatha.
Let him see. I won't be the only one who wants him dead, and I won't be the last traitor. Another direct, brutal blow hits Yanie in the face, causing his nose to spurt blood. Let Serial listens stiffly into the room, his legs shaking. Yanie grits his teeth in desperation.
Oi.
Did our Don mention whether he wanted us to take him back in one piece or not? Let Serial clenches his muscles to force himself to calm down. He notices another man is now back with a small bucket of water. They force Yanie to tilt his head back, then press the icy cold water-soaked sheet firmly against Yanie's face. The young man struggles in his chair, which rubs against the floor and makes a shrilling noise. Let Serial grabs the empty bottle at his feet, swings his arm out, and throws it as hard as he can across the room. What's that? The two muscled men stand up as the interrogator motions to his companion to check. Then he pulls the cloth from Yanie's face, throws it into the bucket, and asks him again.
Sigh.
Come on. Whose plan is this? A drain? Oh, wait. What is that? Whose plan is this? A drain? Or is it that little... Wait, how do you read this sentence? What the fuck? Why is this comma here? Whose plan is this? A drain? Or is it that little brat Bwyjiski? Yeni coughs in pain. After a few meaningless moans, the wet cloth is brutally pushed back over his face. An opportunity Letzeriel will take advantage of. Are we gonna save him? He grasps the bottle stealthily, approaching the man from behind, and hurls the bottle at the back of the man's head, hard and fast. The thug falls to the ground. Letzeriel doesn't even bother to untie Yeni and hurries back to the bedroom door, waiting for the thugs to come back. When they do, he uses the bottle again. Letzeriel's heart is racing. He throws away the broken, bloody bottle and rushes to remove the wet towel from Yeni's face. Whoa! Holy shit! Couldn't you save me first?
Sexy.
Shut up and save your strength. Letzeriel cuts the rope from Yeni's hand. Yeni shuts his mouth for the first time, allowing him to assess his injuries. His silence serves as a sign of a guilty conscience. When did you get here?
Found Wormseye.
Before they started asking about me? What, now you care about this? Yeni's past is his secret, and so is Letzeriel's. Everyone has their own story, but so what? No one gives a shit.
You're lying, Russ.
The Tulanes will be here any minute. We're leaving now.
Hey, T.
I said hurry. Need my help to carry you?
Twanyak.
Huh? Bullshit. No need for help from some guy with a bunch of dead up my... no need for help from some guy with a bunch of dead up his ass. Very funny. Yeni's familiar grimace is a relief. After handling the scene, Letzeriel sets up his companion and quickly leaves the apartment, nimbly passing through the twists and turns of the alleys. They pass quickly by stalls and vendors, trying to find a safe shelter. A warm and comfortable bed is already beyond their hope, but at the very least, Yeni needs a place to treat his wound. Go to the third store in Casely Street, the one with the moron branch. Yeni's body grows heavy. Letzeriel's throat becomes feverish, and his lungs burn like a fish out of water. They have exhausted their energy, and now all they can feel is the strain and pain in their arms, and a leaden heaviness in their legs.
Myla!
Stop! A voice calls out from the end of a dark, wet alley, and an unexpected figure appears. Oh my god! It's Hysono's sister! Sandra?
Simni?
Why? Why? Where have you been? Rosemary shut down and my father still couldn't walk. Hysono, my brother, said that you're the one who assaulted my father. He was wrong, wasn't he? Oh, shit. What? Letzeriel gasps. Why had he not realized earlier that Sandra's last name is exactly the same as the head of the SDLS? She and Father Hysono of St. Godhrkar are the children of Sayalt Molnathan. Sandra takes a deep breath. Her voice is like a fire in the wind, trembling, almost beseeching, and full of uncontrollable cries. The girl will do everything she can to mend her crumbling trust, as long as he categorically denies the callous and horrible speculations and tells her straight out that they are ridiculous delusions. But Letzeriel remains as silent as a stone. She understands the frightening rumor might be true.
Dadrin!
Why? Why did you hurt my father? Didn't you... Oh, what the fuck? Yo, is that a gun? No. No, you can't kill Letzeriel. No, bro, chill. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Oh, fuck. I can't make any decisions. I have no karma points. No. Oh. She takes out a gun and points it directly at the boy in front of her. Uncontrollable tears roll down her delicate, beautiful face. As he tries to explain, there are faint footsteps in the otherwise quiet alley. Okay, so the thing about this game is you earn karma points by having characters get injured or killed. If you die, you get 3 karma points and it resets like the chapter. So you can't make any progress until you survive that chapter. But Mr. Let's Cereal here. So I used to have 7 karma points. I know it is morbid as fuck. This game is dark. But I used to have 7 karma points at one point. But Mr. Let's Cereal here had a whole ass anime protagonist awakening moment, which actually drained all of my karma points. So I ended up with no karma points. And since then, no characters have been injured. And if they have, it's like fleeting. So I can't even make any decisions at the moment. So I have to be sparing with it. But I already made my choices and I got no karma points left. Oh shit.
Solution.
No, it's not like that, Sandra. The boy lowers his tone, his deep, soft voice melting into the air, trying to calm the girl who is about to lose her mind completely. Aw, shit, is my headphone breaking? He sets aside the drowsy Yanny, sighs silently, or slightly, and is instantly back to the typical gentle-lit cereal that Sandra is familiar with. With a heavy expression, he gives a frank gesture of no deception or hostility, and moves closer until he presses his chest against the quivering muzzle of Sandra's gun.
Yeah, Linus.
I didn't mean to upset you. I know how you feel about me. But there's one thing I have to know, and that is the shadow of my life. He bows his head, casting his pale blue eyes into Sandra's amber ones. Truly, I met your father, Mr. Mulnathan, in search of the truth about my parents' death. I have no doubt that there is some dark plot behind their sudden and tragic deaths. I know, and spilling everything? Why are you doing this, Let's Cereal? She's gonna shoot, dude. Let's. But what happened isn't as simple as I imagined.
Lights.
Let's.
Yeah.
I can swear by Votru, Sandra, that I had no intention of harming your father. There's a conspiracy behind this, and the same people who are behind it are after me. I don't want to involve you in this. It's too dangerous. Do you understand? His eyes seem to droop with great anxiety when he puts his hand gently on the girl's thin shoulders, draws her close to her, and slowly takes the little pistol from her delicate hand. Both Let's Cereal and Sandra seem relieved.
Clear?
Oh my god, I survived somehow. Holy shit. It wouldn't hurt to shoot me in the chest if it comes out wrong. But right now, Sandra, trust me. Guns are not for ladies. The girl sobs softly, her features a pitiable mess, and still obediently gives the gun to Let's Cereal, who lets out a sigh of relief and reaches out to wipe the tears from her cheeks. Sandra blushes and looks over his shoulder. Their cheeks touch as she smiles.
Fear.
Actually, I didn't believe my brother's story. I don't think you're the one who hurt my father. And that, the other man, Professor Hector, he mentioned the name Verminion Street. He must know something. Yo, if you didn't believe your brother, why the fuck did you bring a gun and threaten me with it? What? No. You did believe him for that fucking split moment in time. Oh my god, dude. A memory is triggered when he hears the name Verminion.
Eh?
Where's that?
Sure.
In the northeast corner of Thalasak. There's only one block that's a little run down, and I'll bet not a lot of people live there now. All of a sudden, Sandra's face changes. She pushes Let's Cereal away, and then there's an abrupt gunshot. No! No! Don't tell me. Who the fuck did it? Who in the fuck? Before he can tell what happened, Sandra falls to the ground. As the gunfire dies down, the girl's blood splatters from her body, warm and wet, across the side of Letzeriel's face. She died?! What?! Oh no, Letzeriel is now going to be framed for Sandra's murder. Oh no, what the fuck? What did I do? His bright blue eyes dim momentarily. He raises his pistol, almost without thinking, pulls the trigger, and the bullet pierces the air 10 meters away, killing the man who followed them. The bullet pierces the man's skull, and blood and brains eject from the body scar on his head. Red and yellow merge with the dark water and mud of the alley, and slowly blooms outward. Sandra? Sandra! Oh, what the fuck? No! Letzeriel takes the girl in his arms in a panic and tries to compress the wound on her chest. Sandra's face is covered with tears as she pants and whimpers like a young deer. Oh no! It hurts so much. Shh. Shh. Don't talk. You'll be fine. Letzeriel, fighting back the soreness in his throat, caresses the girl in his arms. He watches as the color drains from Sandra's cheeks, flicking away the tousled hair from his forehead, and speaks the lies he doesn't believe over and over again. It's okay, Sandra. You're gonna be okay. Bro, he about to have his villain arc. He already had his protagonist awakening moment. He's gonna... Bro! Letzeriel murmurs, trying to convince not just Sandra, but also himself. The young man twists his brows in pain, and his eyes fill with a dull mist. He hates himself more than ever. He hates himself for being weak in the face of death. He hates himself for being so weak that he could not protect others. Let's see her. The blonde girl leans her forehead softly into Letzeriel's arms, breathing faintly. The wound in her stomach is bleeding profusely, and she gasps with pain, calling out the name of her lover helplessly. The uncontrollable fear of impending death is clear in every whimper. The wind pushes heavy clouds overhead, and the girl's golden eyes, like the last rays of sunlight, slowly lose their glow in the dark and muddy lane. Oh my fucking... This is not the place or the manner in which a girl should die, but it is fortunate that, at least until the end of her life, Sandra is still wrapped up in the sweet lies that Letzeriel constructed, believing he loves her. Oh no! This is so fucked. Oh, she did not deserve this at all. Oh, fuck. Yo, Hysono is literally about to murder Letzeriel after this. Holy shit. Hysono has his villain arc right now. Dude. Oh. Bro. Well, what's going on, Mr. Easton?
Kafarfi.
I am not the only witness, Easton. Everyone saw it. There was only you and Widden there, and he doesn't seem to know anything about it. Of course, this is another story if he lost consciousness after those things happened.
Kafarsai.
I'm not saying you did this on purpose, but the person died when he was fighting you. And there was that bloody bow in your hand. People figure you killed somebody.
Sean.
No, They're in the director's office, waiting for Passmore to finish the report and make a ruling.
Align.
Fine. What do you want to say? Just bad luck as usual? Come on. Before you finish considering what you can disclose to us, explain the situation at the scene, would you?
Zay.
I can understand, though. Everyone makes mistakes, and yours happen to be killing people. Am I right, Sir Passmore?
Spram.
Shut up, Tracer.
Krieger.
Enough. The low roar of the superintendent is like thunder. Tracer and Easton both fall silent, raise their heels, and straighten their backs reflexively. With a gloomy look, the superintendent scans the subordinates in front of him and finally sighs.
A lie.
Enough. Tracer, close the door when you leave. Tracer makes a seriously expression to the greatest extent possible within the realm of being polite. He then receives a glare from Passmore and walks away. After the door is locked, the director of Illy Police Station crosses his hands and stares at Easton, who is standing up straight.
Carcelin.
The criminals have confessed, but this is a pretty bad incident, got it? We have to give an explanation to the people and silence the reporters. Passmore starts searching through the piles of paper on the desk. A subtle hunch rises in Easton's mind. Passmore is harsh, and if he comes up with a suspension form, he's done for.
Sleesh.
Sir, I mishandled the whole matter, but... He can't finish the thought, however. Passmore seems to have found what he was looking for and raises his hand towards Easton. The latter stops talking despondently, looking at the papers in Passmore's hands. They seem somehow familiar, but Easton doesn't remember where he'd seen them. Fortunately, Passmore doesn't make him wait long.
Godhrkar.
You're just like my former colleagues, always charging ahead. It's impossible to hold them back for something trivial like this.
Shall.
But you should really take some rest. Spend some time with your family. Get out and relax. It's no use to the job if you're stressed. Besides, you're seriously injured. If I let you continue to work, I'll be accused of exploitation.
Huh?
What? Vacation. The word makes Easton's pupils shrink. He stares at the paper on Passmore's desk, his eyes narrowing as if he's about to burn a hole in the file. No, burn it to ashes so that director will forget it. Forget it. He remembers what it is. At the bottom of that paper, he'd signed his own name. He submitted the form to give Belalia a surprise, to take his family back to old places, relax, recuperate, and have fun. But under the circumstances... A damn leave of absence. Easton wants to refuse, but the moment his gaze meets Passmore's, the flame rising in his heart extinguishes like it was doused with icy water. Passmore's eyes are cold, emitting a mixture of the sleek sophistication of lower bureaucrats and the decisiveness of an eagle.
Gush.
I see. As if reading Easton's mind, Passmore pats him on the shoulder. The latter hesitates for a moment, then removes his badge and the gun, putting them on Passmore's desk.
Yutron.
Go, Easton. Say hello to your wife for me. I mean, we got off lightly for killing a guy. All things considered. He walks out of the office. Easton looks down at his empty hands. There are no documents or a gun. Somehow it just doesn't feel real.
Melody.
Hi, partner. What's even more surreal is that after what happened the previous night, Whitten would actually show up in the police station so early in the morning. He seems full of energy. If it wasn't for the gauze around his head, Easton would think he'd taken a long vacation in Malforta. Belalia stands to the side, smiling at Easton.
We done.
Whitten? You're already back for work?
Carcelin.
Did you hear what happened yesterday? A sailor named Maverick Bolma died of illness in his own house. Wait, who's Maverick? Wait. No, you're Dorsey. Okay, never mind. Wait. What button did I just press just now? And wait, this is where I could find all the files of everybody? Are you fucking... So, this is a great revelation for me, because I've been trying to find this fucking menu for the past, I don't know how long. Because, like, I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes there was like, oh, so-and-so files were unlocked. Yo, how do I read this? How do I read these? You gotta be kidding, dude. There's multiple sections. Oh, it highlights whose group it is. Yo. Well, I'm almost done with the game. I might as well not even use it.
Shangfo.
No, that's not a criminal case. What does it have to do with us? I finally found it after
Here,
almost
Miss
completing the
Star.
game. Because except for him, all the sailors in the south rioted, just like the ones we met. Passmore called everyone back. Wooden sighs, staring at the empty collar and holster of his partner. He realizes what happened and changes the subject. Go on vacation with my share too and have fun. Don't miss me too much.
Klo?
How do you know the director just approved my leave?
Ho?
Huh? But Mrs. Speaking of which, can you believe it? They said that I'm doing well and have nothing serious enough to keep me from work. I was expecting a few days off from this mummy-like head.
Darfik.
So, they discovered you were faking the severity of your situation? Maybe you could ask the director again, or let Tisha talk to him. You really should take more rest. After all, you are wounded.
Billion.
Billy? You are absolutely right, Mrs. Eastoneaser. Wooden looks guiltily at Easton's face, lest he reveal anything.
Fika fear.
But I think I will stay. I can get more information here at the police station. What happened last night doesn't feel right. Just enjoy the celebration. I will call you if I find anything. Thank you for your kindness, Mr. Locknell. Blylia gives a grateful smile. Easton frowns, but he doesn't want to argue with Blylia in front of his partner. The two leave the police station and walk to the corner. Blylia takes her husband's arm, her footsteps moving swiftly. But her excitement only makes Easton even more anxious.
Billion?
Billy, what did you say to Passmore? Easton?
Slish.
You asked him to approve my leave, didn't you? At such a critical... But you promised me! Easton turns his head in surprise. His benign wife stared straight ahead, her eyes blinking, showing a trace of anxiety. You promised me. You said you would accompany us more and join us in the baptism festival celebrations. He suddenly realizes that time had silently kissed Blylia's cheeks. The simplicity and carefreeness of her eyes has been brushed away, replaced by shallow wrinkles at the corners. Easton knows he hasn't paid enough attention to his wife for far too long. From sunrise to sundown, he rushes from place to place for the stability and prosperity of Illy, always leaving the bright smiling faces of his wife and children behind. He should really spend some time with his family.
Alain. Firkarnezik.
I did promise. Once again, he holds her hand. Blylia finally smiles from her heart. Then go shopping with me. Let's set off tonight. Blylia is a capable woman. In just half a day, Easton's hands are filled with shopping bags of various travel supplies. Before they realize it, they've reached the most prosperous section of the high street. Lethal Opera House is right in front of them. A huge opera poster is pasted on the exhibition board outside the door. The depicted tenor wears a pompous expression, embracing the air with open arms. Easton glances at the poster casually. The moment he looks away, a thought crashes into him. Isn't that my suit? Easton? Easton?
Kavexanito.
I'll be back very soon. Before Blylia can respond, Easton rushes towards the opera house. The police uniform shows its power, and the manager almost jumps out of his skin.
Steer.
How can I help you, sir?
Slish.
Just want to know some things. The orchestra that Neo Moir belonged to, the Pearl Shell Orchestra, right? Are they still performing? The Pearl Shell Orchestra? Another question about the Pearl Shell Orchestra in one day. They left, sir. Went to Thalazak to perform.
Darkle?
Someone else asked about them?
Tiara
A young couple with Sheba accents. Alas, the lady seems to have only one eye. She's a rare beauty.
Salenno.
I see. Could you please provide me with the address of where the Pearl Shell Orchestra stays in Thalazak? I'm about to attend the celebration with my family. Maybe I'll have a chance to meet them. In an instant, the expression on the manager's face relaxes, apparently taking him for an avid fan who abused his power for personal gain. He takes out a manual and hands the business card sandwiched inside to Easton.
A line.
Newliston, here you are. I'd say that the Pearl Shell is not a stable orchestra. You should really take a look at some others. Regardless, I hope you and your family have a good time at Thalazak. Easton thanks him hurriedly, puts the business card in his pocket, and leaves the lethal opera. Lilia is waiting for him nearby, holding fruit she bought for the children. What happened? Nothing important.
Zaneto.
Let's head back. I want to make a call. Even though his badge was withdrawn, he still has a responsibility to warn the Pearl Shell Orchestra as soon as possible. Someone is tracking them down. A web of conspiracy entangles everyone, creating puzzles. Just like the misty gray sky above the theater, a phantom shrouds all of Illy City. Maybe even more. Okay. We got Shervlet. Okay, the story can't continue until Shervlet passes. Alright. Moment of truth. The sun breaks through the thick fog and squeezes through the curtains of the shabby hotel, casting a shadow on the dry wine stains in front of the table. The half-spilled bottle rests to the side and reflects two figures under the blankets. The alcohol masks the smell of sex, but the clothes on the floor tell of what happened the previous night. A white hand fumbles for the nightstand and knocks over the bottle, which feeds the last of the wine to the carpet. Rob coughs, rolls over, and holds the woman beside him. Wanna go? Come on, let me smoke. When she finally finds the man's cigarette case, Lillian contentedly holds one in her mouth. Robert bought her for the whole night, and she is in no hurry to go back. Who are these people? What? She'll count it as another day after the cigarette. He'd have to pay more if he wants another round.
Oksai.
Good morning, love. Yuck. Is that how you greet women in the morning? Well, let me change my tactic. Rob takes the cigarette and pushes the seated woman back into bed again. Lillian giggles and puts her hand on his shoulder while rubbing her toes against the man's calf. Rob utters a series of profanities. Damn, you're hot. Bro, are we about to break TOS? I don't know if it is, but I may have to change it. I'll see how far it gets. Do you like it? Of course, of course. Give me a kiss. No, it isn't. Wait, let me try to change it. Sexual themes. There we go. There is gore. There is, but it's not like that bad of gore. At least in my opinion. Wait, how strict is Twitch with it? Okay, you know what? I'll put it under significant profanity or vulgarity. There you go. Or, no, actually, violent graphic depictions. There you go. Alright, done. Okay, I updated the stream, I think. I think I updated the stream. I think it worked. Alright, there we go. Alright, back to the game. Lillian obediently raises her upper body, bringing her neck close to the man's mouth as she breathes lightly into his ear. What's the hurry? You have plenty of time, dear manager. Those cocky little stingers can wait.
Bring on!
Damn right. She should learn her lesson. Rob wildly kisses into the crook of the woman's neck, snorting derisively. Fuck. If only she'd be more obedient like you, then I wouldn't be stressing this much. I've never seen a woman with a shittier attitude than her. Who does she think she is? Nothing but a whore. No one gets to work me like a slave. You're fearful? It's okay. The blonde with the sexy smile winks at him slowly, softening her complaint with her sweet tone. Rob had taken a liking to Lillian. Obedient, servile, everything that Shervlin wasn't. She'd done enough men to know what they like. Hold you in this scene? What? Oh shit. A commotion comes from downstairs, accompanied by the clatter of china against the wall. A woman cries and curses loudly, as if in a heated argument with someone. What's happening? Forget about it. They're playing too hard. You want that too? No, wait. They're calling Robina? Liliana freezes and struggles to hold Rob's face still against her chest. She quickly lifts herself up and grabs the petticoat from the end of the bed as he makes a disapproving sound. Why? What happened? Why are we backing up?
Oksai.
Come back, Lillian! Rob lets out a volley of curses and climbs out of the bed to follow Lillian. He is kinky. He rushes out of the room while he's still putting on his suit overalls. Her high heels tap it down the stairs. Ma'am? What happened to Robina? When Rob finally dresses and gets downstairs, he sees Lillian on her knees with a dark-haired girl about her age in her arms, makeup smeared by tears. She cries but can't utter a word. Robbie, it's me. Who did this to you? Who poisoned you? Yo, somebody's dying again? What? Yo! Oh, yishties. What the hell is going on? They just went to the Dawn's party but came back like this. Robina, Eddie, Flora, Marjorie? My poor children, they're no longer able to speak. Oh, no, I forgot to mention, the free karma points only come if the main protagonists are hurt. And there's like... So East and Easer is one of them. Shervlit, Let's Serial, Raven, Pry, and... I think there's one more. But the main protagonists are the ones that get the karma points. Everyone else that dies around them and gets injured, no karma points, which sucks. I need karma points. I got none at the moment, so I can't make any choices. Dawn? Murphy Tulane's party? Shit, it's her! Yeah, it is bullshit, considering that people are dying around me. Like, what the fuck? Rob shoves the money for Lillian into Mrs. Dimonson's hand, while he looks about for his hat. It was Shervlet. He curses her for ruining his morning. Robert, do you know something? Rob opens his mouth but says nothing. No one would believe him, even if he did, and Lagard Weiston made him promise to keep it a secret, no matter the cost. So, all he can do is tip them more and leave the brothel without turning back. The secret has to be kept. And yet that woman, relying on her own natural ability, had recklessly and ostentatiously hurt others. She had no regard for the consequences, abandoning the counsel of both Lagarde and Rorty. Rage floods his brain, making it almost impossible for him to think about anything else. The further he walks, the more irritated Rob becomes. Shervlet. It's always Shervlet. That devil of a woman hates his guts as much as he hates hers. Oh, damn, they order these paintings, and also, damn, they have bad blood? I didn't even know. Just as Rob opens the door, Shervlet's voice leaks out from behind it. Reaching the highest point of anger, he slams it right open. Not caring whether or not it closes behind him, he bursts into Shervlet's room, bringing her singing into an abrupt halt. I don't know if you want to do that, Rob, considering she has siren powers. Well. Look who we have here. None other than Shervlet Foucher, leaping from bed to bed and ending up as a mafia trophy wife. What, are you too proud? I did see a certain Robert climbing out of a hooker's bed. I like her singing. Even though you're telling him to beat her up. Shervlet doesn't even flinch. She starts singing again, refusing to give him the attention he seeks. The unbearable silence creates a rush of adrenaline, feeding on Rob's mind and driving him crazy.
Toi.
Spread your legs all you want, because that's the only thing you can do. Trying to get the better end of the deal when a little thing goes wrong, huh? Well, you better remind yourself that you're nothing more than a canary owned by Mr. Weiston. Nothing more. Dude, Rob is going hard. Also true. Maybe that's why. I'm also a bird, so I guess that doesn't help. Behind him, the phone rings, but it feels distant in the heated moment. He won't and can't pull away from the argument.
Toignac!
Who's Wizen? Did not Mr. Wizen teach you to keep your secret? Huh? Look what you did. Not to mention singing at a Thalazak Godfather's party, where you fucked a bunch of hookers by making them mute. Rob grits his teeth and grabs Shervlet by her hair. Before he can say anything further, she pulls away. They deserved it. Those talentless bitches know nothing, yet talk behind everyone's backs. They're better off without their voices. Oh. So you did do it. Yo, she followed? What? The telephone falls silent, and a girl's voice echoes behind the pair, making both of them freeze in place. I don't like this sound. I don't like this background sound. This usually means someone either gets injured or murdered. Usually murdered. Rob looks back in surprise. Lillian appears behind him, still in the ill-fitting petticoat. Her bare feet are covered with sand, having followed him in a hurry. I didn't realize how crazy this game would get. But what surprises them more than her hateful eyes is the knife in her right hand.
Swine!
You're the one who did that to Robina! With the roar, the girl dashes straight for Shervlet, who falls to the ground as she's struck. Intense pain follows. Shervlet drops her head to see the sharp kitchen knife graze her snow-white breast, leaving a shallow gash. Oh, there's my karma point. Go to hell, bitch! Charlotte turns her head just as the knife slices down. It digs into the carpet next to where her face was a moment before, cutting several strands of her hair. How dare you! Charlotte grasps the girl's hand that holds the knife and kicks her in the stomach. She's much taller than Lillian, and her long legs and high heels are quite powerful. Lillian gets knocked back, her hand releasing the blade. Ugh. She struggles to get up again, but Charlotte doesn't give her the chance. As she twirls her hair and steps on the girl's back, the heels of her shoes seem like they might penetrate the girl's bones. Lillian screams as Charlotte sings. Let the song stop, let silence fall. They won't remember their own voices, and there will be no word worth speaking by them. But soon the girl's screams stop. When Charlotte finishes the melody, a body beneath her only gasps with hoarse breath. Now you're just like your bitches. With a smirk on her face, Charlotte bends down, turning the sharp kitchen knife in her hand, and plunges it straight into the girl's body. Yo! Charlotte is murdering people now? What? Rob, you're still in the room, right? You're not just gonna stand there? Dude? Scream. Charlotte continues to smile as she turns the knife, pulls it out, and stabs it back in. A voice calls within her mind. Revenge. Sacrifice. The great Yishtin's opens his arms and grants her the power of divine punishment. She is right in serving up such justice. The ignorant people who tried to hurt her should be sent back into the arms of the other one. This is literally turning out to be the case. This turned extra fucking dark real fast. By the time she finally stands, her dress had turned to bright red, just as it had the first time she was driven off the stage. So Robert is just standing in the room watching this. Keep in mind, Robert has not left yet. So Robert, you just fucked this girl like literally 10 seconds ago. You're not gonna, you didn't try to save her? Like, damn, what? And Charlotte, why is she suddenly murdering people? He literally is. He's just watching. What the fuck? Lillian stops breathing, and her blonde hair is soaked in blood. Devil. Oh, now he's reacting. Oh, okay. A little bit too late, Robert. Especially since you were about to fight this bitch. Dude. Rob, I thought you had more balls than that, dude. What the fuck? Rob's voice trembles beside her. The man falls limp against the wall, his legs shaking and urine soaking through his pants. He's one of them, only insulting and using her. They, the fools of the other one, deserve to be nothing but sacrifices to her Yishtin's and Paul. He is in hella shock, but why is he in shock now after he literally knows she has powers, that she did use them, and that, like, keep in mind, he almost, like, beat this girl up before the Lillian came into the room and got murdered. So, he was ready to throw hands with this girl that he knew had superpowers and had already, like, taken the voice of 5 people already. So, why is he getting in shock now? This man does not think ahead. Charlotte slowly raises her hand but holds no knife. Her gloved finger points at Rob, and the next second, As if becoming a completely separate entity, his body distances itself from his mind and loses all control.
Starku, Starjaki, Kirhaunin, Irkahaunin.
This is me. This belongs to me. I give, I gain. Every single word of Shervlet's... Oh, what is that splat, bro? Every single word of Shervlet's song further robs him of control. He can't breathe or move. His arm stops awkwardly in midair, but all he can do is stare at it in horror as hypoxia kicks in. A sharp pain punches through his belly like a gunshot as the woman in front of him stands there, covered in blood as red as a rose. She towers over him, perhaps because of the suede, high-heeled boots. Or suede? I don't know that word. Her soft but powerful voice adds pressure to his body and mind. Oh, shit, he's throwing up blood. In a gasp for air, Rob gags. The base of his throat grows warm as he vomits heaps of blood mixed with tiny grains of sand. Dude, why is this happening after I literally said the game wasn't this bad? Why is it getting this bad after I fucking said it wasn't? Dude. This is ridiculous. I know, I chose this exact moment. Once the vomiting starts, he can't stop. The floor, his clothes, the sand, all are stained with fresh blood. His body, like a faucet, dispenses the liquid almost endlessly. Time stretches to infinity. He feels no pain for a few moments. An invisible hand clasps his throat, forcing him to open his passageway. He struggles fruitlessly to remove the celestial hand that he can neither see nor touch. All he ends up doing is scratching more wounds into his own neck. Become his sacrifice. In his final moments, Rob gawks at Shervlet one last time. His vision blurs. Like in a nightmare, he sees a looming shadow behind Shervlet. 4 long arms stretch out to the corners of the room, and from the darkened head, 2 pairs of ears spread out like dark wings. Oh, damn, did she summon the fucking devil? What? So I got Hyacinth, who is now gonna go in his villain arc because his sister got killed by Letzeriel. Well, not by Letzeriel, but he's gonna think Letzeriel killed her. And Letzeriel beat up his father and put him in the hospital. So Letzeriel is doomed, and Hyacinth's gonna go through his fucking villain arc, dude. So we got villain arc Andy, and then we got Aerith. You know what? There's drama going on. I might as well. Villain arc, let's go. I mean, we're this far into the shithole. Might as well add more drama to the mix. Who's gonna die this chapter? Damn. Everyone's dying this chapter, bro. Agathenia is finally persuaded to return to her room for rest. It's Hysnow's turn to look at after Sayalt. His father had just fallen asleep, leaving him in silence as he sits beside the man. It had been nearly 2 hours since Drummond left to look for Sandra. Hysnow begins to recite the scriptures of his heart, in earnest and in silence, and the Votru, as always, gently pacifies him, giving a little peace to his troubled heart. A loud, rapid knock pounds at the door. Sorry to interrupt, Master. Is Vermol back? He quickly opens the door and hurries downstairs, accompanied by the maid. The girl's reluctance to speak brings a certain uneasy pain in his forehead. The steward opens the gate for him. To his surprise, however, there stands another middle-aged man dressed as a gendarme with a shaggy beard, heavy expression, and beads of sweat on his forehead. It's not Drummond who found Sandra.
Italy.
Marshal Sergius Semelite of Thalzek Chursa Military Police sends his regards. I don't know any of these words.
It's a lie.
Nah, good day. I'm Heisno. Heisno Mulnathan. He shakes the man's hand. Heisno notices some eye-catching stains on the man's gloves. Brown mud and diluted pink blood. He blinks quickly as a greater panic comes upon him. The Provost Marshal of Thalzak would only be here at a time like this for one reason.
Shay.
I'm afraid we have some unfortunate news. As he speaks, the tall man slowly turns to his side, drawing Heisno's gaze behind him. And nothing could be worse than what he sees. In front of the manicured courtyard of Mulnathan Estate, a few trained gendarmes carry a stretcher covered with a blood-stained white cloth, outlining a petite shape. Heisno's body begins to shake. He knows there is no mistake. The sun-like hair hanging below the white cloth, the delicate fingers. It can be no one in all of Thalzak except for his sweet Sandra.
Steer.
We received reports of a gang war and found the victim at the crime scene, Miss Sandra Mulnathan. Heisno, turning a deaf ear, stares at the stretcher. His back shakes and heaves like an old pine covered with snow. Snar, the butler, speaks in a low voice but fails to call back his attention.
Zasio.
Young master. Master, Our Lady approaches. Heisno steps back mechanically to make way for the gendarmes. It's not until the men place the stretcher in the room's center that Sergius slowly lifts the white cloth over the body. Heisno can't deny that it's Sandra. And the gun we found at the scene. Of Miss Mulnathan, I'm afraid.
Mofirster.
Please. Please leave me alone with her. His sour voice trembles. After a brief hesitation, Sergius nods heavily and dismisses his men with a look. Heisno kneels, his scarf brushing the floor. He wraps her curly hair, as fine and soft as gold, tenderly around his fingertips. Sandra's face and hair are caked with the dirt of the alley, but that doesn't keep her from looking sweet and beautiful. Her expression is not pain. It can even be described as calm and serene. Without looking at the wounds, the blood, and the mud, without touching and feeling her cold body, he could almost believe she was still. It reminds him of the afternoon when he and Findlay returned from school as teenagers, and little Sandra would still be sleeping in her velvet blanket, her fine eyelashes fluttering sweetly as she dreamed.
Svea.
Yes, jeez, please. Please. But she will never wake up from that dream. Hideous wounds lie across the island cotton shirt, leaving a flesh and blood flap. Heisno's fingers hover, almost afraid to touch the charred fabric as if he could hurt her. Large areas of dried blood bind the cloth together, and he finally sees the handprints. They look crude, almost disgusting, all over Sandra's dress. It's him. Heisno, you can recognize Let's Serial's handprints? What? That is such a specific thing to know. What? My man can recognize this guy by handprint. Holy shit. Yeah, why does he know his handprints? And how does he know his handprints? What? It was that Let's Serial. Yeah, is there like a whole ass fucking like story chapter that I'm missing? Like, how the fuck do you know this very specific detail? Cause all I know from the storyline is that he's literally your sister's playboy, okay? You saw him at chapter 1 and then never saw him again until this moment. What the fuck is going on? What? The son of a bitch who attacked his father and played with Sandra's heart finally got her killed. The villainous, manipulative sinner who dragged Sandra into a gang war. He should be the one who was shot and drowned in sewage in a filthy alley. His tears spatter to the ground as he speaks in a hoarse voice like Rodian, watchman of Hell's Gate. Ishtis, if you really exist, please answer me. Hector is a liar, he thinks, his pain growing. If Votru, if Yishtisampal does exist, why would they let a sinful demon remain on Earth but call his loved ones back to heaven in such a hurry? Gradually, the muffled cries fade into the hall. It's futile to cry. There is no point in obeying the teachings and maintaining his innocence and goodness. It's foolish to believe in Votru, who could not respond to human devotion, and absurd to believe he would arrange a proper destiny for good ones. Because God does not exist, and Hyacino would have to rely on his own hands to gain his revenge. He would not pray in vain, would not ask for justice, for goodness is dead and faith is useless. He would become evil, and with his own hands he will tear sinners apart. For the last time, Mulnathan's brother embraces his dead sister, the sweet light of his life. Then the man stands, covering the girl's body with the coarse cloth before picking up the handgun of Findlay Mulnathan, the one she took away before. He would capture Lethziriel on his own and send him to hell by that very gun. Whatever it took, he was going to make him pay. Bro. Lethziriel, you gotta run for your fucking life, dude. Oh no. I gotta see what Lethziriel is doing at this point in time. He is fucked. He's being chased by everyone at this time. Damn. Lethziriel runs through the alleys and climbs over the walls, but when he stops to catch his breath, the sound of his pursuers always comes shortly thereafter. They're after him like a pack of hounds. I know, if injuring his father wasn't bad enough, he was like, okay, you killed my sister on top of it. Like, Lethziriel is screwed at this point. Dude just has to run. He can't remember how long he's been running. He can hardly feel his legs. His throat's burning, and every expansion of his lungs is filled with blood. Next corner, next wall, Next corner, next wall, he comforts himself. A few more seconds. A few more steps. But the metallic sound is always there. Never slowing down. Never stopping. He has the courage to cast a glance at the source of the sound, while on the run when he climbs a wall and is looking down a shadowed alley. When the noise stops, a man in his 50s strikes a match and lights his pipe. His head lowers. Yo, Drummond, hello. Both of his hands are busy. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Lethziriel immediately picks up a whiskey bottle, aims it at the man's head, and tries to stop pursuit. The man seems to have only moved one finger, and the bottle bursts some distance from him. Yo, he's trying to murder Lethziriel right now. I don't know if I should be happy about this. A puff of smoke catches Lethziriel's attention, and a cartridge case falls to the ground with glass fragments. He doesn't even notice when he draws his gun. You can fix him? Monster. He can't think of any other word for it. Damn it. How many more men like them do the Order have? Fortunately, the rest of the pursuers are easier to deal with. Over time, the distance between them begins to lengthen, and Lethziriel adjusts his direction of escape. He spends a lot of time getting rid of the men who are after him. By the time he finally reaches Verminion Avenue alone, the sun is nearly setting. He soon finds the old Kieran house. It's the only one on the whole street with scorch marks. The outer walls are blackened with smoke, and the windows have little glass left. He does! Holy shit! This house is as broken as his past. With little effort, Lethziriel pries open the plank nailed to the window. It looks as if it is falling apart. Once it's propped up against the moldy windowsill, he slides neatly inside. It appears to be a living room, but unlike in his imagination, fire tracks occupy only two of the walls, and most of the furniture remains intact. What is even more remarkable is the dark brown stain that has seeped into the floor. Blood splatters are all over the room, looking more menacing in the darkness, like some sort of satanic totem. Latsiriel can almost smell it. It guides his sight as if to tell him what happened here. The further he goes, the more ashes there are. Latsiriel turns his head slightly and finds the master bedroom on his left. Most of the furniture has burned through, not much to leave behind. Here, the bloodstains turn to scorched black, trailing up the ceiling. Obviously, it's the source of the fire. A huge window is opposite, where moonlight pours through the broken window lattice into the room. Latsiriel sits at the lamp on the ground and looks around the small, cluttered desk with tin soldiers and a wooden knife covered with cobwebs. Then is drawn to the bunk bed. It seems that this is the room where the Kieran brothers lived. The wooden bed collapsed long ago, leaving a skeleton of burned flesh. Ash thinly covers the ground like black drapes. It's not hard to imagine what a warm and cozy bedroom this would have been. He crouches down and accidentally pulls out a picture frame from under the desk. The yellowing photo is carefully framed, showing how much the owner loved it, which is why it is one of the few things left standing after the fire. The bond of blood ran deep in this family. Latsiriel stares at the boy who has his father's curly hair and a smile just like his mother. Was that him? Or was it his brother? He fumbles with the photo, his brows furrowing at the strange familiarity lurking in his mind. Not just the family with similar faces, but everyone in it feels so familiar, as if he'd seen them somewhere just before. I know, he's exploring a spooky house and everything. Good evening, Latsiriel. Oh, what the fuck? Dude. Accompanied by the Accompanied by the cordial greeting is a deafening gunshot. Latsiriel reels forward. The first thing he feels is the warm, sticky sensation under his ribs. He is so dead. That is all I know at this moment. He is dead. The blood drips and splashes on the ground, a jarring sight in the stillness of the moonlit night. He turns his head with difficulty, trying to look at the murderer. Yeah, it's gonna slowly detail his death, and then after I should get like 3 karma points. And then I have to figure out which chapter I need to change for Latsiriel to survive. Hi, Snow! How did you find him? What? It hasn't even been a chapter! Surprise show. I know. Fuck. The confessor of Saint Godhrkar is nothing like the first time they met. The priest has lost his old gentleness, and holding Sandra's small, delicate pistol, looks at him blankly as if conducting a perfectly normal rite. Then he pulls the trigger with a cold look, hitting the arm Latsiriel is trying to raise in defense. That is an amazing thing to yell out. The boy gasps, his dying heart pumping its last drops of blood to his limbs in a desperate hope for a miracle, or a final moment. He doesn't fight back. It is surely what he deserves. He escaped for 12 years, finally returning to the original starting point. He is caught in the trap of death. You're gonna kill me, Confessor. Snow's tone is flat, as if it is merely a fact of life. I'll give you that. But what about you, Latsiriel?
Skylet!
Just like your parents before, you assault a 60-year-old man for your own selfish reasons, and you dragged his daughter into all this until she died. What did Sandra do wrong? She was only 15! Wait, she was only 15? What? Wait, what? I thought she was older. How old is Cereal then? What? I never... Sandra... He finally falls to his knees and crawls on the ground, slowly reaching for the picture. His blood-covered palm gently wipes away the dust where all faces are stained with blood. No, like, Cereal is also a teenager, but like, how old... Wait, how old of a teenager? What is going on here, bro? I thought he was at least 18. What? I don't know. Dude. High Snow watches him clutch the photo to his chest. The dark green eyes behind the glasses are plain. High Snow looks out the window to the bright moonlight.
I flee.
Go to hell. Home to, home to what bureau? I think I may have an idea on which chapter we need to go back to to try to fix this. This is gonna be great trying to piece this together. Oh no. Okay, so either way, Cereal is dead, meaning I can't go to Aerith because Cereal dies either way. I need to go figure out how to save him. No, that's not Charlotte. Okay, I think it was this chapter. Okay. I now have 5 points. Dude. I have 5 choices to make this correct. Okay, let me see if I can skip the why did that take a screenshot? What the hell? Let's skip real quick. Okay. We're skipping. No, drive Sandra away. Fuck you, Sandra. Get out of here. Karma, but at what cost? Exactly. Alright, fuck you, Sandra. It was nice knowing you, but I don't want to... I don't want to know you anymore. Get out of my way. Cereal's eyes narrow. There is disdain in his eyes and sarcasm in his voice. Time is running out. It's better to get rid of Sandra as quickly as possible. He doesn't want anyone else to be dragged down with him or get involved in such a dangerous situation. Love? Are you kidding me? When have I ever said that, Sandra? Don't flatter yourself. You're just a spoiled brat to me. Pretending to think of something disgusting, he curls his lips and glares at her coldly. Stop daydreaming and wake up. Did you never realize that I approached you just to get closer to your father? Nothing else. And why your father, you ask? It's only because he was in my way. You... Cereal sniffs with indifference. He leans the unconscious Yeni against the wall and walks over to her, then presses his chest against the gun that Sandra's trembling hand points at him. Shoot me if you have the guts. Revenge for your father, huh? But I know you won't, because you wouldn't dare, Sandra. The fabled beauty and fair lady of the Academy is really just a little coward hiding under her father's wing. Man, I am really testing it right now. What the fuck? The Sandra's forehead and eyes gleam, but Cereal keeps coming, step by step, toward the girl. He jerks his hand to the barrel of the gun and pulls the girl to his side, his other hand taking the pistol from her. Oh. No, how? Sandra can no longer hold back her tears from the merciless taunting as Cereal squeezes her arm. It is the only way. Well, at least it seems that way. I don't know if this entire episode is gonna have High Snow kill me again. Hopefully not. Sandra can no longer hold back her tears from the merciless taunting as Cereal squeezes her arm. She cries helplessly. She is just a young girl. Cereal looks at the girl, who wouldn't stop crying. His emotions are as distant as if he were merely watching a film. Enough crying. Get out of here. Terrified and hurt by his rudeness, Sandra takes a few awkward steps back. Her eyes are wide open, tears still streaming down her cheeks, but she can't find the Letts she loved in the boy before her. At last, with a low whimper, the girl hurries away, trembling and sobbing like a frightened little squirrel. Okay. If she makes it past that alley and doesn't get shot by a stray bullet, we are good. If she leaves this alley and lives, we are good. Knowing this game, there's still a few couple sentences where shit could go wrong. Let's see really heaves with a long sigh of relief. He finally helped the girl give up on her love. He grabs hold of Yanni again, turns around and continues down the dark alley. Oh my god, it was easier than I thought it would be. Oh man, I have to go through Shervlet again? Okay. I think this is just a preset chapter. Yeah, I think it's just a preset chapter, so I can safely skip this. Pretty sure. Yeah, for sure. Alright, so there is no follow-up chapter. I think we're good. Alright, Aerith. What's up? Luckily it was just that chapter I needed to fix. I swear. I remember last time that Raven died, I had to like go back an entire chapter to try to get that fixed. It was horrible. Turna rarely stopped making jokes, which was probably why he was so well regarded at St. Godhrkar, but so often chided at the Order. I know, this game gets so deep sometimes. Like, holy shit. This is such a good game for it to be free. I'm actually surprised that this game is free. But with his whole body supported by the brute force on his arms, his legs half bent behind him, he is in no mood for jokes. Turna inhales sharply, the impending crisis looming in his mind. I know, I gotta find a wholesome game I can stream. A steel cane presses against his chin, forcing him to look up at the ringleader, Lagarde Weiston, a well-dressed gentleman who's hatched the whole thing.
I
I have to admit, it's predictable. Do you have any last words, Father Turna-Kashtazai?
Tuaniak!
Go to hell with your devils of Lerman. He spits blood, and Lagarde turns his head away from the unthreatening attack with ease. Devils? Yes, we're all devils. But think, Mr. Kashtazai, who created these demons? Who separated them from the rest of the world? Who took away their voices and set the weak on their path of revenge? If there had been no hatred in his eyes, he would look more like a priest than Turna, setting the trail of the sinners instead of God. The devil. The devils are born to evil. If this is revenge, who should I blame for ruining my own country? It's up to you to decide, but I'm afraid you are out of chances. Turna raises his head, his pupils reflecting the well-made pistol aimed at him. There is no ripple of fear in his eyes. They remain calm and still like an abandoned pool. The crisp sound rings through the Ermgahamad chapel, and then a gentle drop of red breaks the pale scene. Turna's eyes widen as Lagarde's muzzle moves towards a figure outside the chapel. They throw the wandering priest to the ground and draw their weapons, but the gentleman only stares at the bloody gate. Oh my god, Aerith!
Arif Samha!
Crows fly out of the branches as the breeze blows through the woman's red hair. Several pistols point at her, but she remains motionless, just staring calmly at Lagarde with her greenish-gray eye. I am the one you're looking for. Her sight falls on a lonely gravestone not far away, and Lagarde's eyes follow. They both know who lies beneath the mottled marble monument.
Ah.
Correct. Lagarde clutches his gun as if holding Aerith by the throat. Rorty will be happy because the person who killed her is going to die on her grave. Wait, what? Rorty died? Isn't she alive, though? The moment he screams, the thugs around him pull their triggers. Aerith turns quickly away as the bullets ricochet off the gate. She pulls out her pocket mirror to reflect the interior of the chapel. Lagarde leads the way with his cane, followed by the thugs with their guns. Her eye soon finds Turna hiding in a corner, his tunic splattered with blood. Two heavily muscled men guard him, and one of them warily watches the door.
Thetas!
Find her! Aerith closes her mirror neatly and focuses on the approaching enemies, who are clearly more disciplined than the mobs she'd met before. They march out of the chapel and split up to search for her. But graves and death are always the best cover.
Tonyak!
Come out! You can't escape!
Musarb!
Stop hiding, Miss Mel. Do you remember how you killed my little Rorty in cold blood? You judged me as a devil, but who is the real devil? Rorty's alive, though! What is he on about? What? Aerith gasps in the shadows as the adrenaline courses through her veins. She refuses to respond to Lagarde's provocations. The priority is to save Turna. Before the last thug turns his head, she crosses over the space between the two graves, heading to the back of the chapel. Bro is Delulu, what the fuck? At the same time, Lagarde's voice becomes clear, and his footsteps make a wet sound on the flagstones as he crosses the marble threshold. Aerith knows it's the squelching of blood.
Arche Porshenu!
Studying Frasian only to explore knowledge? For the noble past and the future, how hypocritical! Man seeks knowledge for rule. God would laugh his teeth off if all you wanted to do was write the knowledge down on paper. The crisp sound of Lagarde's cane hitting the stone is in order, prompting the assembled mob to scatter again, looking for her in the trees. Aerith grits her teeth and turns to the chapel's back door. She pushes her shoulder against the back door, and in a flash, she kicks a thug who is holding Turna down. Turna breaks free and strangles the other man who is reloading his weapon. Watch out for the front door! Aerith tacitly turns to lock the door back door when Turna suddenly shouts. Turna struggles to sever the rope with the fire from the candlestick. Without a moment's pause, he takes a rifle and several magazines from the secret compartment in the altar and rushes to the front door. Damn it! Turna's skills are on full display. Before the thugs can react, he takes out the nearest enemies, then sidles into the shadows beside the door while Aerith knocks down the bookcase against the rear door. It would be enough to hold off their pursuers. I didn't kill her, Wyston. It's your madness that killed her. What are... Dude, did Rorty die while I was off saving Let's Cereal? Like, what is going on right now? Am I dumb and I forgot that Rorty got killed this chapter? I'm pretty sure she's still alive. What? Was she not on the train this episode? I could have sworn she was alive on the train station. What? I am so confused right now.
Cleffy.
Madness. Me. If seeking knowledge is wrong, then you are unpardonable as well.
Aside.
You shouldn't break the taboo. The words, the melodies, that's not what you were supposed to teach her.
Cleffy.
My little Rorty had been chosen. She was the blessed child who could use that language. And why should she not be allowed to use what she is destined for?
Artred.
She was my finest work, and should have been yours. I know you want to see my work, or you wouldn't have stood by until after she had succeeded to master the word of God. I could have sworn literally like a few chapters ago she was still alive and kicking. I know Robert got killed, Lillian got killed, but Serial died, Sandra died this chapter. Not once did I see not Sandra, Rorty. What? I don't even know. Okay. She does not reply. It's clear Lagarde is losing his mind, if he hasn't lost it already. It's a waste of time to argue with him.
Fitas!
Kill them! The thugs move in from all directions, rushing towards the two. Aerith and Turna know they're in over their heads.
Side.
This isn't good. Is there an option to retreat? It's our plan B.
Coexist.
Didn't have time to think about that. Turna, how long can you hold out? Wait. I think I may have a theory. Okay, so since this game has supernatural powers, right? Like sirens, mutant beasts, and shit like that. And they're talking about supernatural powers at the moment. Pry, which is the assassin character of this game, did recognize Rorty. Yep, a game theory. Just a theory. But, Pry, the assassin of the series, did recognize Rorty. And Rorty did have a fucked up throat for a while before Raven fixed it. So my running theory is that Lagarde taught his daughter some evil dark magic shit. Aerith and the government killed his daughter. And then using the dark magic, he then resurrected his daughter, had Raven fix up her throat. And now he's going for revenge for initially killing his daughter. That is my game theory. a very game theory. Physically, half an hour or so, but the ammo will only hold for 10 minutes. Thank you for saving me, Aerith. That seems like a bad move. If we could...
Shouldn't fear, sir.
Stop it. We'll hold on as long as we can.
Fifio.
Of course. Turna ducks out the doorway and fires at the pursuers in front of him. He believes what she said, that her being there was the best guarantee. Gunpowder wafts through the sacred chapel, and Aerith clenches her gun. Suddenly, a memory comes to her as though flipped on by a switch. Yes, I want to see your cafe after the stream. It's gonna be great. Bang! Damn! The old gentleman shakes, his broken body momentarily off balance before he falls onto the grass. Meanwhile, Turna runs out of ammo. He takes out the revolver he put in his bag the day before and keeps shooting. Yo! Villain laughter, hell, let's go! Very well. Enjoy dying! I like dynamic prey. It's much more pleasant to kill them. In the face of such a desperate situation, Aerith remains calm. Amazed at her composure, Lagarde's laughter stops as he makes eye contact.
Say.
You have your gangsters. A noise echoes from the depths of the cemetery, a signal that she is being reinforced. Countless figures approach the Ermagahad chapel. And we will not be alone. Lagarde, Weiston, you will die today! Angry fishermen and sailors burst through the entrance on the opposite side, armed with harpoons, axes, and homemade pistols. Aerith had spread the news about Lagarde through Hoito before she arrived. The simple and brave longshoremen went mad, with the same hatred for Lagarde make them the best reinforcements. The angry mob and Lagarde's thugs attack each other, the fierce anger driving them at first, then intensifies by a new hatred that blossoms in the fight. It grows increasingly out of control, with blood splattering on the grass and broken bodies and cries of pain all around. You can't defeat me with this! Lagarde's shout raises behind them as he clenches his jaw. His eyes are bloodshot. There's only so much anger and hatred his body can take. His trembling hands can barely hold his pistol. A shot rings out from the side. A bullet from Turna's revolver goes through the gentleman's thigh, causing him to stagger in pain and fall flat on his face. Without a word, the priest pulls the trigger again, sending the crows scattering in the trees. Aerith has heard it 1,000 times. For them, it's the sound of the real knell, rather than the bell tolls at festival. at funerals. Whoops. Lagard's body recoils from the impact of the bullet, his head slamming against the stone behind them. Blood rushes to fill the name on the tombstone. Skyrot Aurora. Bright red blood runs down the gravestone like tears from a girl's eyes. I guess so. Would you hate me? She thought. Skyrot had been out of control, and her father Lagard is distraught over his daughter's death. They cannot be allowed to exist, both from the school's order and for the sake of the country. I made the right choice. It is their destiny, she said to herself. It's over. Ouch, that hurts. Wait, what happened to Rorty? As soon as the fight ends, the somber-faced priest clutches his wound.
Moira line.
Hey, Kaz, welcome back. You missed all the action, apparently. There's a lot you missed. Okay, we need to treat your wound before going to the train station.
Ah, Thithio.
And don't forget to take care of the blood on your clothes. You'd better put on a travel cape, and... Oh, how about buying some bandages? Make sure we can both survive. I know. I gotta find a cute game somehow. See if I got one in my library. The evening wind blows into the waiting room, and the heat from the crowd is enough to warm the bleak air.
Hysteria-digus.
Wait for me here. I'll go find Shuhite and be right back.
Yes?
Huh? But
Z.
doesn't matter. It's still early. Sit here for a while and get your strength back. We've got work to do when I get back. Turna takes Arif's advice. Luckily, a nearby man hurries to the platform and leaves an empty seat. After Turna is settled, Arif turns away and disappears into the sea of people. The whooshing sound of the whistle comes from the far end of the platform. As another train slowly leaves the station, Arif glances at the black smoke and clanging wheels as she searches for Shuhite. Finally, in the distance, she finds his thin figure on the platform. Shuhite stands erect, his coat cool and clear, his face with the slight aloofness of a scholar. He's easy to recognize, even in the center of the crowd. As she looks at him, everything around them seems to melt, and a warm languor spreads rapidly from her heart. The hurried crowd turns into a multicolored mist that carries them both. As tranquil joy mixes with anxiety, she hurries to the platform, her mind a whirl of thoughts as she tries to pick the right words for when they reunite. Or she could say nothing. They have a lot of time and can confide later. Shuhite is so close to her. Arif bypasses a pillar, and a light flashes at the edge of her vision. Her eye spots the intruder. On the third floor, a sniper lurks in the shadows around the corner. The muzzle flash reveals him, but the crafty hunter had already set his rifle, aimed straight at the heart of his prey. His index finger, wrapped in a leather glove, curls inward, ready to pull the trigger. Aw, what? Is he gonna die? Is Shuhite gonna die? I feel it in my bones. Everyone is dying this chapter. Why is this? Her heart tightens. Subconsciously, she pulls out her revolver, and as soon as she looks at him, the stream of people splits, and he notices her too. The man's eyes light up as he smiles at her. Oh, fuck. Protect Shuhite. Fuck it. Protect Shuhite. She makes her decision almost instantaneously, not by logic, but by instinct. Arif runs to Shuhite with all her strength, his arms outstretched with joy, trying to catch her. But instead of slowing at the moment she enters his arms, Arif knocks him down with her shoulder and raises her gun to the sniper. The gunshot shatters the hurried atmosphere of this station. Amid the screams of the crowd, the sound of gunfire rings out again, screaming and bursting with sparks. As the gun falls to the ground, the woman finally tumbles into Shuhite's arms. Her delicate dress is no longer a soft lilac. The bullet pierces a bloody hole in her chest. Shuhite tries to plug the wound in her heart. His spastic fingers catch Arif's struggling hand, and their fingers twist together like a withered vine climbing the carved railings of the Verathesis Order's gate. I'm going to have to replay this chapter and choose not to save Shuhite, and this hurts. This hurts. Her delicate lips turn pale as her lover watches. The pale, fragile petals tremble, trying to open. Shuhite lowers his head, but can only hear the gurgling and hissing of blood in her throat.
Aerith.
Arif? Stay with me, Arif? Tears well up in his eyes. Shuhite clutches Arif's body and sobs her name repeatedly. Arif opens her eyes with difficulty, and in her dim vision sees sadness shroud his wrinkled face. For a second or two, she tries to raise her hand to rub his shoulder and say, "It's all right, don't worry." But she has already lost too much strength. Perhaps she should have learned years ago to face her inevitable fate. She still wants... I know. I'm going to have to replay this chapter and let him go. And oh, permanent darkness closes in. Arif opens her mouth, and bloody foam oozes from her lips. Her voice is barely a whisper as Shuhite bends down to catch her last words. The train blows its whistle on the deserted platform. The sound comes in waves, swallowing the last murmur. She closes her eyes, and small trails of tears fall. Price of naivete. Oh no. We can't have nice things. Well, if it wasn't because of the story, I would have saved Shuhite, but I have to let him go. Oh, fuck. Cass. Well, what did you want to say? Oh, fuck. You do that too? Oh my god. Kill the sniper. She raises her hand and points to the quivering gun of the sniper. But a moment of doubt is a recipe for disaster. As she pulls the trigger, another shrill shot rings out. Shuhite is stunned for a moment. Arif looks on in horror as he presses a hand to his bloody chest, staggers back, and finally falls to his knees. Oh, how? It hurts. Arif spasms as if she'd been the one who was shot. Her trembling hands and feet are frozen in place. The platform is thrown into chaos like stones thrown into the middle of a still pool. They flee in all directions, leaving a turbulent void where the stones fell. Why is everyone like dead, lol, and who is killing them? It's a series of interconnected murderings. Oh, it's a long story. The platform is thrown into chaos. Okay. Well, I think Shuhite this time is getting murdered because of Lagarde's men. Which sucks, because we just defeated Lagarde. Though the bullet hit Shuhite, it seems to pierce her soul. Arif's fingers quiver. He was innocent, an outsider from beginning to end. He was just waiting for her at the station. They were supposed to be going back to Thalasak. A sad cry escapes her constricted throat. She falls to her knees beside Shuhite, her feet stained by blood. Shuhite, hey. Are you alright? Don't worry about me. It's you. Shuhite coughs up blood, motioning for her to come closer. and she clutches her white fingers tightly. After a desperate search, his bleeding hand pulls out a small box. Within it sits a beautiful ring with a shining sapphire. Aww. I'm always... They are not okay. They're not okay. Oh. He has no strength left to put the ring on her, so Aerith does it herself while the terrible crimson spreads rapidly over the scholar's spotless white suit. Aerith sobs. The weeping wound is like a tap that can't be turned off, and the warm blood runs down her aching knees, soaking into her dress where it quickly cools. The train whistles on the deserted platform, swallowing Aerith's quivering sob. The train was supposed to carry them away from the tumult and strife, but it's time to put an end to it all. They should have soon been back together in Why can't I read this sentence? They should have soon been back together in Thalazak, where everything is as it always has been, where she still did her monotonous job of receiving letters, and where Shuhite would still be waiting for her to get off work. Waterfalls of wisteria fill the streets. The clock tower's bells toll every hour. Pigeons fly across the blue sky, and golden days would wash away all the blood.
Shuhite.
But no one answers. Her shuddering call fades away in the howling night wind, as does the last trace of warmth clenched between his fingers. Oh my god, everyone is literally dying this chapter! Why? And we ended off with Prai, the assassin! No! Oh, we're gonna have to cleanse our souls after this. God damn. On the 5th of December, Morningstar, who performs at the Stella Club, did not accept the club's offer, instead choosing to collaborate with a small, anonymous local orchestra. The silence outside the house of one of the orchestra's members, Bitterman, suggests no one had left the house for several days. The street displays the marks of the mob's riot. I know, this is not a wholesome stream today. I don't know why. Once Prai skillfully picks the lock, the dark corridor stretches out before his eyes, and in the depths of the darkness, a fanged beast with yellow eyes stares at the hunter who disturbed it. What the fuck? Prai lifts his arm to brace for impact. He barely manages to get them up in time before the shadow from the storm room throws him against the wall. Prai's ribs would be broken if he hadn't braced himself. A rough hand, covered with dried blood, grabs his neck and lifts him off the ground. Prai struggles to breathe, and when his eyes adjust to the darkness, he finally recognizes the attacker's face. What the hell is that? What in the SCP? The assailant utters a frightening guttural howl, and before he can tighten his grip, the hunter kicks the door behind him closed. Hunter rule number 1, always leave an escape route. But for those crazy enough to drive their prey into a corner, blocking the way out creates the perfect arena. He seizes the hands on his neck and presses his right foot against the door to change the angle of his body. The shadow lets go with a mournful howl when its gnarled hand twists in a strange direction, clutched by the hunter. In mere seconds, the tables have turned. The attacker is forced into a corner with Prai holding in their arms and forcing the calloused forefingers to reveal themselves. It's a musician's hand. Not very pretty. The infection had mutated and turned it even uglier, almost like an eagle's claw. Long fingers, though not thin, with prominent bones at the forefront, the dead tissues revealing a sallow color. There's Bitterman's hands. Prai pulls out his knife and stabs into his attacker's neck. Curled fingers stiffen when blood gushes from the arteries, the resistance from the wrist fading. The attacker trembles until finally, there's no more movement. The musician quickly dries up in front of his eyes. His face is like a horrific mask, with muscles twisted together and sunken dry cheeks. His wrinkly lips pucker up, exposing the bleeding gums. The accursed melody has swallowed him up. No consciousness is left in him. Long before Pry arrived, Bitterman had already died, and all that remained was a raging beast, a walking corpse with calloused fingers. But where is his family? The question doesn't remain unanswered for long. As soon as Pry peeks into the bedroom, the cruel scene responds. A woman lies on her back, still in her sanded apron and with flour on her hands. Unable to close her eyes, the woman stares blankly at the ceiling. The torn curtains and smashed oil painting frame on the ground show how heated the argument had been that night. A cut of raw meat still soaks in the pan, already reeking of decay. Crush. There's a crunching sound under his boot. Pry lifts his foot and, rubbing a finger across the bottom, discovers black powder clinging to his leather gloves. Coal? Pry observes the bedroom in silence. Nothing can escape his eyes. Many coal cinder marks surround the dead body, revealing footprints all over the room. A good performer would never take a casual walk along the railroad tracks of a cinder truck. They had to protect their hearing. But if he was invited, Bitterman must have arrived there after the show that day, at the lair of the Black Hand behind everything, where he got cinders all over him. A train. A mobile stronghold is much more insidious and reliable, which also explains what happened at the warehouse. His targets were transporting goods from there to the train. Their stronghold. Pry is still lost in his thoughts when a sharp voice suddenly comes from behind him. He turns quickly, just in time to see what's under the bed. A pale young boy is curled up, his thin lips quivering and dried tears interlaced on his dirty, bloody face. The knife in his hands points toward the hunter without hesitation. How long had he been hiding there? The tip of Pry's fingers is inches from the cinders, but he suddenly freezes. In the boy's eyes, he sees a circle of helpless red reflecting another figure. He's greeted by the blade, which Pry easily dodged, though the memory didn't. The overlapping past is cut to pieces, revealing another tearful face. The boy under the bed clenches his teeth and brandishes the knife. His eyes flare with anger, burning everything in sight. Pry can't help but let out a deep laugh. The man who killed the boy's father, who pretended to show mercy so he could be saved in that moment. But in the end, his choice has never led to any kind of redemption, and he no longer wants it. I'm exhausted. This is the only one left, isn't it? Look at his garden. How could that mob... Write it down under the damaged section. I'll see what I can find out. The patrolman's loud voices come from outside. Wait, is that blood? Pry had made another mistake. Bitterman bled out, and the dark liquid had run underneath the door's crack and into view outside. There's a kick on the door, leaving him no time for further investigation. Pry looks around for a window to escape through. Between the cracking of the metal and the splintering of the wood, he hears a low whimper.
Yashon.
You will be saved. Then he runs for the window. With a crash of broken glass, his coat's hem disappears from the boy's sight, a split second before the police kick the bedroom door open. When he arrives at the train station, it's already filled with noise and chaos. Beneath the sound of whistles and wheels, the passengers in the waiting room abandon their luggage and flee in panic. Aw, Pry, you have such great timing, man. Oh, fuck. Help! Someone's been shot! Has anyone seen my daughter? Let me through! Neo's still on the platform! Pry is keenly aware of what he hears amongst the shrieks. Something terrible happened. He's just a step away from it, but can hardly move forward. Damn. Excuse. His shouts are drowned in the chaos. Pry squeezes past the last escaping people on his way to the platform, but before he can catch his breath, he hears a gunshot, followed by a scream. Blood. The first sight is always blood. The hot, harsh color climbs down Arif's hair, silently spreading across the tiled floor. She holds the statue-like man in her arms. Pry has never met him before. red blood and white tissue spill from his wounds. He's dead. For a moment, Pride loses the courage to look at them again. Can the cool, intelligent Aerith have such emotions and expressions? Her eyes tremble, the darkness within them thick enough to pin his already heavy feet where he stands. She looks as if her very soul is being drained. Her hair is loose and straggly, trembling around her neck. But she's alive. Oh, they said at the same time. I would make a Jinx joke, but it's like, she's already been jinxed, so it's like... His voice rings out at the same time as Turna's. The injured priest stumbles in their direction. However, their shouts, like stones falling into quicksand, don't even make a ripple. Get up, Aerith. Shuhai is dead. Turna's roar sends a shudder through her shoulders. Aerith slowly turns her neck. Pariah can almost hear the cracking of the joints and faces Pariah's direction. Huh? Turna? Right? Oh, make myself smaller? Okay, hold up. I think I can do that. Alright, I think that's good. Alright. Her voice is hoarse, vocal cords hissing wildly like a broken bellows. Aerith raises her head in fear, hands curled like a novice fighter, confused and dazed. It's the first time she's looked at them with such a fragile expression. Yo! Damn, do I have to make myself into an ant? I'm blocking like the third sentence. I might as well take myself off the screen. But the grim reality doesn't leave any time for them to breathe, and heavy footsteps approach. Without looking, Pry can already tell they aren't allies. He has to fight, as the only soldier here alive and well.
Slish.
Their stronghold is in a train, probably a coal train. You get her out of here and I'll take the back. Become ant? Hell yeah. You know what? I will do exactly that. You saw me, now you don't. I'm going even smaller. No, you have to come with us. Someone has to cover your back. No, we must go back together. The hands gripping his wrist interrupt Pry's response. Her trembling nails sink into his flesh, and a sharp, dull pain courses through them. But you can't die here. He breaks free of the woman's hand and guides her back to Turna. Just go! Time to go, Aerith. No, you can't. Pry! The fear she had barely managed to conceal returns to her eyes. The moment Pry turns around, Aerith finally loses her composure and lets out a desperate scream. Pry takes off his black windbreaker, revealing the vigorous and fierce hunter beneath. It's an attack! We're under attack on the platform! He shouts to drive the passengers back and concentrate all of the enemy's attention onto himself. The silver blade is already firmly in his hand. The mob's frantic footsteps assault his ears like a tide. Pry's taut legs flex as he faces away from the path to survival. The thunderous footsteps are close enough to shake the ground like an earthquake. The mob tries to run past him, but Pry won't let them through. His hunting knife dances in the throngs of blood, ready to slice every pursuer's throat until his last breath. Yo, Pry! He the goat. Oh, we're ending it with the Easton, okay. Easton's wife is an expert in arranging trips. Blylia has taken care of everything necessary so they can catch the night train the same day. 4 train tickets sit neatly in her pocket. Wait. train tickets at this time. Oh, Easton, do I have something to tell you? Easton can't figure out how she managed to make time to buy them. The feeling of being fully scheduled makes him a bit distant. But the surging crowd soon makes all his other problems fade into the background. He needs to devote all his energy to preventing his family from being separated by the rushing passengers.
Sign.
Here. A moment. There's so many people. There's hardly any trace of the strike from 3 days earlier, except for a few police officers patrolling around the platform.
Myla.
Olin, stay close. Watch out. I know, right? Can we just go to the airport, you know? Just take a good old car ride, like a family trip? Why does it have to be the train? Don't worry, darling. Cynthia, don't lose your bag. I won't. Easton withdraws, smiling bitterly. I know, just walk there, bro. It's good for you. He's become an ordinary traveler, no different from the masses. The children chatter behind them, and Belia is giggling. Such a relaxed atmosphere gives Easton an unfamiliar sense of happiness.
Chloe, Chloe.
What's wrong? Does it still hurt?
Allein, für Karnesik.
I'm fine, Billy. You... He doesn't finish his sentence. An abrupt gunshot catches everyone's attention. Amidst the screams of the passengers, Easton blocks the children behind him. People panic, scattering their luggage all over the place as they run, making it even harder to escape. He joined right at the beginning, bro. Olin tries to protect Belia, but she pulls him into her arms and shields him. Cynthia pulls her mother's sleeves, looking around in panic. What happened? Was that a gunshot?
Myla.
Don't be afraid. Get closer and don't get separated. His responsibility as a father and as a police officer collide head-on in the waiting room, leaving him overwhelmed. Even worse is that the number of police officers is barely enough to evacuate people, let alone chase down the shooter or shooters. Have the Maximalists struck again? It is at this time that we ban trains. Holy shit. No, the situation is different from the strike. The Maximalists are good at spreading chaos, but they rarely did anything to risk the lives of ordinary people.
Appa.
Come here, quickly. Easton motions to his wife, each clutching onto a child. They follow the instructions of the officers to enter the evacuation line. This forever scarred you from trains. A dozen or so uniformed police officers enter from the side doors, holding truncheons and guns as they rush toward the commotion. Instinct drives Easton to act quickly. He pushes through a few panicked passengers and grabs one of the police officers by the wrist. What the fuck? What are you doing? Let go! This is an emergency!
Gosh.
Excuse me, I'm from Illy Police Station. Dude. His hand stops when it reaches the inner pocket of his coat. Easton suddenly remembers his badge is lying in the sheriff's cabinet.
Godhrkar?
A gunshot. Are there casualties? Is it the Maximalists or the gangs? Does it have anything to do with... Mind your own damn business! Accompanied by venomous curses, the officer shakes off Easton's hold. A small tattoo on his bare wrist is exposed for an instant, and the familiar pattern makes Easton's stomach tighten. Why are the Bookers here? While he's still reeling, the fake officers have already disappeared from the corridor.
Take it down him.
Darling, what is it?
Allein.
Nothing. Don't worry. Don't worry. A new wave of screams break out from the distant platform. It's even worse than the chaos started by gunfire. Footsteps of shocked passengers and the helpless cries of children instantly fill the platform just a wall away, and soon rush into the hall where Easton stands. All I can say is that this is a bad time to love trains. If you want to go to a train station, wait until after this chapter. This is a bad time. Fear and chaos spread like a plague. Survival instincts shadows people's rationalities. No. Everyone's just dying at the train station, bro. It's bad. This is a bad time to admire trains or to ride a train or do anything train related. Oh my god. Kinky? I guess. They start trying to push away the officers, just desperately rush the gate.
Rothy Volta!
There's been an attack on the platform. Amidst the shouts, the growing anxiety makes Easton's body tense up. After all, he can hardly suppress his police instinct. Easton holds his wife and child tightly, looking at the passage connecting the waiting room and the platform. He finally catches the source of the sound. A brunette man had pulled out a sharp blade and is rushing towards the officers. Behind him is a woman fleeing with her companions. With blindfold under her scattered red hair, the woman stands out from the other passengers. They're only exposed to Easton for a short moment, but the keen detective already noticed something strange. He'd seen the man in the morgue just a few days earlier. And that one-eyed woman reminds him of the words of the theater manager. The alarm bells rings in Easton's heart. A man pretending to be the doctor in the morgue, and a one-eyed woman investigating the Pearl Shell Orchestra. It's his only chance to stop them.
Sean!
Where are you going? A soft hand grabs his sleeve before he can take a second step. Melilia pants, her tear-filled eyes giving a desperate plea.
Where?
Don't leave us. Why can't I click? No, I can't click. Okay, I can only protect the family. I couldn't click. I don't know why. What? No, I wanted to go in there. I couldn't click on the red arrow. It's okay. Daddy will stay by your side. The fragile wall of police officers collapses, and the panicked passengers surge out like a tsunami, rushing towards the station's gate. Easton turns around just as the swell of people sweeps Olin away from behind Belilia.
Vista!
Papa! Olin! Within a few seconds, Olin is buried in the mass of bodies, and a moment later, he falls into the ground. Ouch! Stay away from me!
Ampa!
Damn it. Olin! The boy curls up in panic, trying desperately to avoid being trampled. Only a dozen meters separate father and son, but the crowded flow of people stands between them. The scream of his youngest son pricks Easton's mind like a needle. He grits his teeth and shoves and shoulders his way through the passengers, trying to carve a path to the crowd. No! If I stopped the gunfire, then I'm pretty sure the crowd would have somewhat appeased and Olin wouldn't be in this mess. I don't know. I don't... dude.
Myla!
Get out of the way. He stretches his arms and quickly picks up his son right before a foot can land on his chest. The two squirm through the crowd to safety. Ouch. His back slams heavily against the wall. However, this only makes him tighten his arms around his shivering son. Blythe and Cynthia are separated by the crowd, screaming in terror. Easton stands upright, panting, and rushes towards his family. Automod got you? Man, I wasn't even warned of that. What? Did it? Wait. Why wasn't I... Wait. Why didn't I get a notification? Your message isn't showing up. Like, at all. What the fuck? Dude! Your message isn't showing. This is bull. So wait, what, like, think of a synonymous word of what Automod sniped you with. Because it's not showing the word that it sniped you. It's bullying you so hard, it doesn't even show me the fucking message anymore. What? Dude. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Wait, why did Automod ban that? What? That's crazy. It's much easier to return to his family's side. His hanging heart can finally rest, and he can catch his breath. Dude, that is weird. I mean, it's not getting Kaz, which is okay. I don't know if this is an excellent time to say that, Kaz. People are dying. Shit's going crazy. And you're like, penis. The thought of maintaining order is completely forgotten. The Easternese family finally breaks away from the crowd and stops near a corner, maintaining their hard-won safety. What, did you try to do another one and blocked you? I'm not getting any messages! This is ridiculous! Why? Because it always showed me before when it auto-modded somebody. They aren't there long, but Easton feels half a century has passed, and everyone's nerves are frayed. The officers pass through with their batons, loudly dispersing the rambling crowd. Bro, that's crazy. I guess Automod is sexist. I don't know. Shush, dear. Don't be afraid. We're safe now. Luckily, normality soon returns. After another train sets off, the station is back to silence and order. The fretful crowd gradually calms down. A group of officers runs past them with shields. Easton hesitates for a moment, stretches out his hand, and pats Blylia on the shoulder. Just wait here. I'll be back very soon. Darling?
Twilight.
Don't worry. You're safe now. I'm going to check the situation and make sure we can set off on time, alright? Blylia looks reluctant, but she eventually nods. Easton reaches out and rubs the children's heads, whispers a few words to appease them, and then hurriedly dives into the crowd. An ominous scent penetrates his nose. It's so strong that he can't help but frown. He quickens his pace, pushing against the human wall until the dazzling redness makes him stop. Onlookers had formed a circle, in the middle of which ample blood mixed with bits of cloth and debris coated the flower. Oh, did they mean to say floor? Several broken figures lie crookedly in the pond of crimson. They're fractured, revealing numb expressions that Easton is more than familiar with. Anger, fear, consternation, and sorrow. The last cries the once living leave to the world. The horrific scene shouldn't be surrounded by unsuspecting people, placed under the scrutiny of both eager and icy eyes. The scene shocks everyone. A man is lying in the pool, coated in blood. Easton almost doesn't recognize his face. Turnakashta's the wandering priest he interrogated just a few days prior. Turna died?! Beside him is the one-eyed woman who Easton had only just come across. Blood still seeps from her wound, forming its own pool that appears to sparkle under the shifting lights. Aerith died! Oh no, I'm going to have to go through previous chapters and figure out which chapter links up to this and save all of them. Oh no. There's another corpse on the platform. Next to the man's punctured chest is a small jewelry box tucked in his fingers. Where the fuck is Parai? Easton takes a step forward, seeing his own face in the pool of red. What is correct? What is correct, bro? No. How far does this go? How far does this go? Damn it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the previous chapter and see if I can help out the gang members. Fuck. Okay, so it was during Club Stella that they encountered the Maximalists. I'm thinking, considering this is a gang war that happened, I can try to skip and see ya boy. We're going to accept this offer.
Praxis.
Wait, did I already read this?
Hey!
Oh yeah, I already read this. Okay. Okay, I can't skip for some reason.
Claudia.
Gears. Cloud.
Що? Мел Старл.
Що?
Карк.
Yo-ho.
Okay. I think there was an option for this one too.
Ah.
Свіє.
Arif.
We're going to help him.
Sai.
It won't be long. She nods to Turna, signaling for them to exchange information from Stella Club.
Блоце.
Thank you so much. Let me take the luggage. He treated the three of them like distinguished guests, walking in front of them and leading the way. Turna lowers his hat and follows Aerith. So the reason why I went back to this specific chapter is because this introduces Zamoya, which is the leader of a rebel group. And considering the train station episode is a gang war kind of situation, I am hoping that if I helped out the rebel group leader, since I now have all these karma points, that he will help shape the outcome of the train station. I am hoping. The police whistle sounds like it's coming from everywhere, as if all the police of Illy are being dispatched to suppress the small riot happening around the corner. The shanty town is located near the sea, and it showed a completely different view from that of downtown. At that moment, air almost feels like they'd already left Illy. Barnacles cling to the corners of wooded walls, while humans linger in the shadows like worms attached to the moss. Day after day, they suffer in doomed panic. Zamoya did not deceive them. The door opens, and the pungent smell attacks their senses. They all frown at the same time. There are a few beds in the room, and white cloths are piled in the corner. People linger everywhere, panting and coughing up bread. Some are tied down in bed, leaving marks on their bodies from the violent movements.
Clear.
Because we're wanted, it's impossible for us to go to the hospital. We don't even know what kind of medicine to get. You're our only hope. Zamoya puts down the luggage. Shuhait's face gradually turns serious as he takes out his gloves and puts them on. Starting with the patients still able to communicate, he checks them one by one. Aerith puts on a mask and follows him, carefully observing the ropes that are stained with blood.
Claudia Citro.
What are these for?
Мел Старл.
To prevent them from harming themselves or other people. You saw the fishermen, right? In the beginning, everyone was like this. Furious, unreasonable, and there was no way to calm them down.
Люда.
They will become enraged and hurt each other until they have no strength left. Later, they start coughing up blood, growing weaker and weaker, and none recovered. We have never seen anything like this before. Air frowns, having no intention of sticking around long enough to witness Shuhait's observations. Zamoya's words overlapped with Prai's testimony. She rubs the blood-stained ground with her fingers and notices the grainy texture. Gravel. At the same time, Shuhite confirms that what she just discovered.
Please, Aplo.
I've never seen this kind of symptom. They vomit a mixture of black bile and bloody sand. Things happened faster than she had thought. If Pry was right, it must be because they all listened to the same performance. Turna also realizes it and casts a questioning look at her. After Aerith nodded her consent, he takes out his certificate of Wandering Priest from an inner pocket.
Cartren.
Take this and bring the people to Thalzak. Find Professor Hector Caplet. He'll take care of the patients and ensure they get the best treatment.
Blotso.
Thank you so much. We will never forget your generosity. Regardless of Zomoya's thanks and invitations, the three of them still insist they do not wish to stay long. He is a smart man and bows deeply before escorting them to the door. Along the way, Shuhite lowers his head, as if blaming himself for the inability to save everyone. Aerith holds his hand, comforting him with the warmth of her touch.
Cartren.
Regarding the singer who performed last time, they weren't given any information. The current manager only knows her stage name of Morningstar.
Arguye.
But I asked the audience, and guess what? During the performance that day, a sailor entered backstage. Someone told me his name was Maverick Bolma, the second officer of Spumam. So... Turna remains silent. They might know the answer to the question, but no one wants to say it. Aerith had prepared for the worst case scenario, but let's Turna lead the way. Okay, I think this was where we found out Maverick died.
Cartren.
Okay, yeah, he died. So, I don't think there's anything new that we need to worry about. Now that changed, what else can I do? Do we want to try to get Easton back into work? Which chapter was it that was the decision one, though? I forget. Wait, let me check on day 10 and see if anything changed. Before I start messing with Easton's chapter.
It's a lie!
Okay, so we already did this one last chapter. What is this? Is there a...
Fierce Star Boss.
This is where they figure out that this is related to, like, another god. And that Hycenos' faith is actually a lie made by them.
Star.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Fierce.
It's Shimba.
Search for the bishop. Yeah, I think I searched for the bishop last time. No, I'll go to the church. Fine, but we should inform the church about this danger. As masters of the service, it would be easier for me to do the job. Hector is surprised. Hycenos is the perfect man for it, and his knowledge would come in very handy if they were to work with the church.
Star Alain.
Makes sense. I'll ask Amber to work with you. Don't act alone. I see.
Star.
I'll take care of Chief's business. Need to find the perpetrator. Maybe it'll come in handy on this matter.
Huh?
Star.
Remember the light embers? It's the ashes of Yishtis, the remains of a cathedral. Whoever the perpetrator is, he was involved with the Yishtis. The intelligence in the rosemary was circumstantial, but not useless.
Kirksey.
Please explain this to me in detail later. But before that, I have some thoughts on the young man Miss Bracken's mentioned. Who do you mean?
More steer.
Okay, this
Star
is about
was Clyde.
Lycerio.
Star.
Chloe?
Chloe thought.
Huh? Star was Clyde.
And then this relates to Agathenia. We get to see Drummond again. So I'm guessing it refreshed all the chapters? Oh no, there's a different outcome for this chapter. Okay. What's the different outcome from for the gang war? Tournecuster's eye rarely stopped making jokes, which was probably why he was so well regarded at St. Godhrkar, but so often chided at the order. Okay,
Tuaniak!
Oh, Cleffy.
they're having their whole thing, but like, what changed about this one? They're having their epic 1v1 battle. So nothing changed yet. It's the exact same dialogue so far.
Quick. Say.
So it's the same angry fishermen and sailors. Dude, I think I can safely skip this chapter. Shot directly. No, this is my mission. Aerith clutches her gun and turns resolutely to Lagarde. It's she who will put an end to the fighting. I'm choosing to shoot Lagarde. Hopeless. Shoot. Okay. Gunshots scatter the crows in the trees. Aerith has heard it 1,000 times. For them, it's the sound of the real Knell. Okay. Wait, did I shoot him last chapter? Wait, should I choose to actually save Lagarde this time? Because maybe this is what makes the train station happen if I choose to kill Lagarde. You know what? You know what? I'm thinking. What if, instead of killing Lagarde, I keep him alive? Wait, is that a way to do that? I forget. Shot directly. No, shot directly. Is there a way for me to... No, not arrow it? Okay, so... This doesn't... I know. So this leads down the same path. I need to go back to the previous chapter. Huh. Okay. I think this is the chapter with the choice for Easton. No, we're gonna cover Wooden. Wooden, go find the nearby patrolman. Wait, you're not saying... Go! Aren't you good at escaping? This tussle seems unavoidable. While the mob yells and screams at them, Easton counts their numbers and checks their weapons. His opponents are furious, but he can't shoot rashly. And Wooden realizes it. He nods and steps back. Okay, Tactic 3. 3, 2... As soon as 1 is spoken, Easton raises his elbow to protect his ribs and slams into the thinnest part of the crowd. The mob is caught off guard, and a gap appears in the crowd. They soon recover their formation and rush to stop Easton, trying to grab his arms. Distracted, they couldn't stop the one who was really breaking through. Before they could close the gap, Wooden rushes out like a charging rhino. Easton watches Widden escape the encirclement and return to the police car, using it as a cover. Come out, coward! You hear him, coward! Easton turns sideways, and several iron pipes slam into the doors of the police car. The mob rushes forward, and along with a loud shout, the police car Easton is using for cover is overturned. Easton quickly rolls backward and raises his gun, shooting into the air. The ear-piercing gunfire pushes the chain of explosions to its peak, and sailors, holding their weapons, swarm to kill him like a sea tide. He dodges several reckless attacks from the front. Nevertheless, losing the police car as a shelter makes him vulnerable from all angles. Okay, got another point. A wooden board hits his upper arm from behind. The dull pain spreads rapidly, and he feels every second as the tingling burn travels from his skin to the bone itself, where the pain becomes unbearable. Out of instinct, Easton's left hand fumbles around on the ground. A cold and slender object touches his fingers. Easton grabs it and swings it upward, trying to block the next heavy blow. Metal clangs against metal, and a sharp noise pierces the dry, cold air. There's a strange, somehow musical vibration in the sound. Easton finally sees what he's holding. Okay. So he ends up killing people again. Yep, they're dead. This time, though, Widden was not taken out for the count. Okay. Same dialogue as last time. From the distance comes the footsteps of patrol officers. They shake their flashlights and shout at the mob. The fisherman, who hadn't fully recovered from the shock of their co-worker's death, follows their orders.
Your turn!
Easton, are you all right? His partner's footsteps come to a halt when the light falls upon Easton. There is a corpse near the wounded detective, lying on the dusty ground like a pale and half-melted wax statue. Okay. Same description as last time. What have you done? Easton doesn't speak. His right arm hangs feebly, and the collar of his torn uniform is open, revealing a bruise on the collarbone. And beside his feet is the oboe that he used to block the attack. Fresh blood covers the metal luster. Okay. So this is Raven saving himself. This is saving Larry. So I'll keep that as before. Let me see if anything changed at chapter 10. I'm hoping something did.
It's a lie!
So I can safely skip this again. Yeah, sure, go to the church. I don't care.
A vine.
I don't know what that does, but I'll go to the church. Use what I got. Okay, so this is an entirely different result.
Kafarfi!
I was not the only witness, Easton. Everyone saw it. There was only you and Widden present, who just arrived when it happened.
Hafarsai.
I'm not saying you did this on purpose, but the person died when he was fighting you. And there was that bloody bow in your hand. People figure you killed somebody. Okay.
A line.
Same dialogue.
Spram.
Kriga. A lie. Carcelin.
Slish.
Wait, what? The criminals have confessed, but this is a pretty bad incident, got it? We have to give an explanation to the people and silence the reporters. Passmore starts searching through the piles of papers up on the desk. A subtle hunch rises in Easton's mind. Passmore's harsh, and if he comes up with a suspension form, he's done for. Sir, I mishandled the whole matter, but... He can't finish the thought, however. Passmore seems to have found what he was looking for and raises his hand towards Easton. The latter stops talking despondently, looking at the papers in Passmore's hands.
Dear
Oh, wait.
Shall.
Dude, had me baited.
Gush.
Your turn.
Melody.
Okay, so Wooden is not injured this time.
Widen.
Karoslin.
Shangfo.
Hear me star.
Same as last
Hey,
time.
Widden.
Mas Kla?
Huh? Their colleague Bowie, who is neatly dressed, sighs and frowns at them.
Moja steer.
We have to confirm the losses from last night. Lead the team out when you're ready. There isn't enough manpower to cover the North Street. They'll be glad to have you there. Okay. Wooden sighs, staring at the empty collar and holster of his partner. He realizes what happened and changes the subject. See? Well, go on that vacation with my share too. Don't miss me too much.
Go.
Okay. Same as last time.
Billion.
Gertrude.
Slish.
This is the same as last time. I don't care. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay. So she already has hers done. So this is a different choice for Pariah. What changed? Okay, same monster fight. Is it the police that end up arriving?
You start close telling me?
This is the one? Okay, okay. Check it out already so we
Like
can
so.
get out of here. Yes, sir, Detective Lucknow. I'll see what I can find out. The patrolman's loud voices came from outside.
Kla?
Wait, is that blood? Okay. Oh shit. It's this one.
Oh. Fee. Shut.
Joyce.
Look, maybe Easton is the key here?
Where?
Align.
Don't worry. I'll be back soon. His family's disappointed stares make Easton's stomach twist. He looks away to avoid making promises he might not keep.
Gertrude. Whoa.
Easton, no! A force that does not belong to him lifts his feet, and he runs towards the platform. Although his heart is occupied by the guilt toward his family, he can't just sit back and watch what's happening. He has to do it, even if it isn't what his heart wants. Rushing into the crowd again, Easton is immediately overwhelmed by screams. He slows down, looking for anything that can be used as a weapon. Soon a railway policeman appears nearby. His pistol and baton are loosely pinned to his waist. It's Easton's chance. He lowers his head and hurriedly walks with the crowd past the railway policeman. When he isn't paying attention, Easton reaches over and pulls out the pistol with a swift yank.
Hey!
Gush.
Sorry, back in a minute. But before another policeman can grab him, Easton disappears into the crowd and runs to the center of the mess without looking back. As he approaches, the figure of the red-headed woman gradually becomes clearer. A man in a coat stands behind her. He's the suspect they had just released. Turn a Keshta's eye. They're surrounded by gangsters disguised as railway police. Outnumbered, they're obviously risking their lives fighting. Before Easton can get close, they're already in trouble. Huh? Who is that? As Easton gets closer, the gangsters notice him. A few immediately open fire on Easton. Thanks to his reflexes formed by years of training, Easton dodges the attack. The bullet just misses his chest. The gangsters in police uniforms turn their guns on him. Brass bullets whistle out of the muzzles, and Easton has to roll quickly to avoid them. He lowers his body and hides behind the stone pillar next to the platform. Okay. The ground explodes behind his heel. Flying debris cuts into his shoe, leaving a deep scratch behind. He slides out from behind the stone pillar, pulling out his gun, then loads it and pulls the trigger in one fluid series of motions. Several bullets glide through the air, hitting the gangsters before they know what's happening. The metal projectiles pierce their skin, pushing the dense blood and flesh apart and leaving holes in their bodies. The gangsters clutch their wounds and scream. Careful! Accompanied by the woman's yelling, Easton turns around and avoids a bullet while he calmly raises his gun and fires. The one-sided situation the priest and the redhead are in is finally taking a turn for the better. Easton notices a young man. He's hard not to notice. The young man has the delicate face and dignified posture of a reserved and elegant nobleman. Perhaps it's a bit abrupt to call him a young man. His face obscures the sacredness of gender. He can't be more familiar with that face.
Arbart.
Albert? The moment he recognizes that beautiful face, the boy who fell in a pool of blood and made broken guttural sounds appeared once again in the depths of Easton's mind. What? Wait, so Rorty is dead and Lagarde made this boy act like his daughter this entire fucking time? And this is the boy from the prologue? What? What is this plot twist right now? The boy unties his bow tie, revealing his scarred neck is filled with metal, exposed, replacing the excised throat bone, and surrounded by small, black, hyperplastic tissues, constantly squirming so that he can make sound. This is the world's largest plot twist I have seen in my life. He was not a girl. He was not Lagarde's daughter. Lagarde's daughter is literally fucking dead. So that explains the entire gang fight chapter. And this is the guy from the prologue that died. Oh my. The sacred singing voice is clear and high-pitched, and Easton is horrified, feeling a strange discomfort slowly rising in his body. What kind of power is hidden within that young man? If the Yichtis of Votru of service exist, if they also know how to sing, then it must have been such a voice. Soon the fallen gangsters arise, no longer bothered by the severe pain of their wounds, as if they'd ingested opium or some other drug. They wear surprised expressions as they stand. But then they noticed Easton.
Kiasa!
Die!
Ampa!
Run! What? The flawless singing suddenly fluctuates. Albert maintains his singing posture and finally notices Easton on the side. He remembers the policeman who helped him escape. The weakened music slows the actions of the mob, and Easton takes the opportunity to knock away the man who rushed towards him. However, the advantage only lasts mere seconds. Albert quickly regains his composure, with only a trace of complex emotion still buried in his eyes, and no one notices his internal struggle. The singing continues, and clear orders are reinfused into the ears of the buckers. The violent herd of beasts chase after the three with heavy footsteps, as if to crush the platform. Easton fires again. The bullet whistled through the air and hits one. However, the rest of the men continue to chase, having no regard for their broken and bloody bodies.
Aside.
Out of ammo. They're out of ammunition, and the mob is gaining on them. They are quickly driven to a dead end, and the irrational gangsters surround them. Just as Easton clenches his fist and tries to make a final stand, a siren fills the room. On the speeding train, Zamoyas pokes his head out and shouts to them. Oh! Yes! Okay, it was a good thing I helped out Zamoya that second.
Oi, hey!
Get on the car! Confusion clouds their faces, but with the approaching pursuers and probable deaths gaining on them, no one has time to be surprised. They run towards the train as it passes the platform. The one-eyed woman boards the train first, followed closely by her companion, Easton. Zamoya yanks the detective into the car just as the mob catches up to them. Easton pants violently and slumps against the wall of the carriage. He sees stars for a moment, and the roar of the wheels creeps into his mind, stirring his thoughts into a paste. Death is behind him for the time being, but with the joy of survival comes a deeper guilt. But why did things have to turn out the way they did? Why did Albert show up there? Easton closes his eyes. He has so many questions to ask, but his throat is dry, and his whole body is as heavy as if filled with lead. The slightly sweet smell of blood wafts through the carriage. He doesn't want to open his eyes, because then he can just imagine its rust. The detective relaxes his exhausted muscles and falls into a coma-like sleep as he leans against the wall. That means everyone was saved, right? New dawn, new day, let's go! Okay, final chapter. Final chapter, let's go. You seriously want me to believe that music made these people like this? I know! Many songs, repeated many times, maybe. But your understanding is concise and fair, yes. Easton struggles to suppress his desire for a smoke and takes a deep breath instead. Faint voices come from behind the door, mixed with a few painful-sounding shouts. Behind him is the wounds compartment. Maximalists lie down either on the ground or on the seats, seriously undernourished, and many cover themselves with blankets, coughing from time to time. The people who got in the car are there, watching over the patients.
Not a fic.
I don't know much about rhetorics or metaphors or whatever. We are talking about this disease, aren't we?
See.
Yes. Caused by songs. This woman is unreasonable. Easton takes 2 steps back from her with his arms folded. A lot of questions spin around his mind. Too many weird things had occurred ever since he took over the case. He needed an explanation, but this woman doesn't give him one that makes sense. In other words, one even remotely consistent with the worldview he's had for 30 years. However, a blurred vision is there in his mind, reminding him not to take her words as mere nonsense. Does this melody happen to be able to grow one's body in a short time?
Say.
High tone, if you're asking about Gal Warnock's melody. What?
We are steer.
The effect of a song is related to its melody. What you described is typical hack tone. This melody arouses specified characteristics in the subject and is quite common to use in strengthening the human body. Not so common to Easton's common sense, but still.
Godhrkar.
So, there are many melodies.
Z.
You comprehend rather quickly, I see. At present, we also possess a certain understanding toward Fyak's tone, which applies only to the spirit of the subject. If Gal Warnock has such a melody, there would not be corpses like this, because strengthening is but an illusion created by the song.
Align.
Okay. One on substances, one on spirit. Let's say I get it. So the sand symptom is caused by a high tone? The use of musical terminology brings an uncomfortable feeling, as if he's bitten his own tongue. He reminded himself that his worldview hadn't surrendered yet, This was just a temporary setback to better communicate with insiders. The woman just shook her head, ignoring every effort Easton made to uphold his mentality.
Shenmue fear star.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. Incidents of this scale are not caused by ordinary melodies. We suspect this is Tear tone. So what's special about this melody?
Slish.
Records of Tear tone are extremely rare, and to this day we haven't been able to construct a theory. What's certain is that it's rather powerful. If my conjecture is true, both the danger and research value of this instant were highly underestimated. I know you're serious, but how am I supposed to believe this stuff? He dug his fingers into his hair, clawing at his scalp.
Darfik.
Besides, if this is true, then all opera houses across the country should have been closed a long time ago.
Grixis.
If necessary. You can't be serious.
Feel.
If you know the Luraman Orchestra from Papalogi, you will know who I am. Easton's heart sank as he heard the name. Of course he knows. No one forgets a scene like that. Blood painted the whole opera hut red, and the hellish horror reflected in the officer's eyes. Every step he took splattered sticky drops of blood. Those lives cooled down, faded away. The yearning for life condensed on their pale faces like a silent protest.
Slish.
And what are you trying to tell me? They're related? The orchestra ceased to exist 5 years ago.
Shenmue fear star.
I'm just answering your question. Songs gain power when they come out of metamorphosed mouths. They have the power to trigger melodic instants with their voices.
Series.
And the Luraman Orchestra was one of them. We stopped them 5 years ago, and we will not let them lose this time.
Spram.
Maybe there are other ways. Lock them up, or...
Feel.
You can't lock Metamorphose up. Moreover, studies have already shown that the ability is not entirely dependent on the voice. Some samples are said to be able to generate fluctuations using other parts of their bodies. Snapping and clapping, for instance. Erasing their lives is the only option.
Shanfo.
No, you're wrong. Easton's hands clench, and his eyes that were dimmed by gloomy memories light up again. He tries to find any trace of guilt or helplessness on Aerith's drooping face, but fails.
Slish.
I know nothing about metamorphers, except that their people have been slaughtered like livestock. Their hearts beat, and their blood flows the same way. However powerful they are living people that have only one precious life.
Shka.
Look around you. Look at what your orders have caused. Listen to the dying breaths.
Saleno.
If you saw it with your own eyes, you would never take it for granted. But rack your stately head, expose the knowledge hidden tight as a muscle shell, and find some real good ideas.
Good.
Maybe we can find some more temperate methods in the future. But until then, no matter how many times, I will give the same order as long as there is a threat. Furious, Easton almost wanted to take the woman in front of him by the collar. If only he had his pistol and handcuffs. Damn. And he still needed a whole squad to hold down the Maximalists beside him.
Slish.
Be honest with yourself, Detective Eastoneaser. You saw what happened at the train station. We can't let something this dangerous run its course.
Sai.
That's because you killed so many of their companions!
Where steer?
To prevent greater loss. To prevent greater loss? In Easton's view, this is no different from the for greater good speech given by cults. Simply because a knife may hurt someone, we need to destroy them to prevent greater loss?
Saleno.
You're creating hell with your own hands.
Feel.
The real hell is yet to come. Easton looks at Aerith, who is bowing her head in silence, her eyelids twitching. A painful sense of struggling flashes in those clear eyes. We can't let Promlin be another Intestifon.
Eh?
Intestifon? A terrifying thought slowly takes shape in Easton's head. A dumbfounded expression crosses his face, and Aerith raises her head slowly. That was because the last stop of the Luraman Orchestra before Promland was Intestifon?
Z.
Yes. All the ruins and exiles were made by them. Their tour 6 years ago was a tour of death to spread the curse and announce their existence to the world. You know that? They built monuments wherever they passed, decorating them with the corpses of innocent people. It is because of what I have seen that I know I have to pronounce their death. I take whatever sin is mine, Mr. Easterneaser. As long as they can be stopped. As long as their menace can be stopped. Easton stares fixedly at Aerith, who has anger and hatred on her face. Not toward Metamorphose, but to herself for what she had committed. But now you see. She points towards the area for the wounded and lets out a sigh, a jibe at her own expense. End of the line. Maybe that's the word. I won't ask you for your understanding and assistance, but please don't stop us. Otherwise, we'll be stepping over each other's corpses. No one can stop us. We will do whatever is needed to save Thalazak and Problem. I am prepared. We all are. Mouth twitching, Easton is unable to speak a word, as if his tongue had been knotted. But Aerith needed an answer, as did he. They all needed answers. I see. Easton's tone is light, as if speaking to himself. He ignores her gaze and walks to the window, casting his eyes on the vast fields outside the compartment. The dawn is about to come, and the blue and indigo of the field is being gradually washed down in a harmonic sense of tranquility.
Twilight.
There can't be more casualties. Huh? Aerith raises her head, but the detective lets out a deep sigh, and she strides back to her seat. Let me tell you in advance, I have no backup for the police station. What I did at the train station was enough to repeal my badge. Thank you. This is enough. Once the cooperative partnership is established, the qualified detective gets to work straight away. The breakthrough is found, and his partner has way more than what he could have extracted from the Ely police. He must seize this opportunity.
Godhrkar.
So based on what you said, they're also settling on his train? I am afraid so. They need to quickly transfer from city to city. If nobody pays special attention, they can move without a trace on their locomotive fortress. And the train's coal stove makes it easy to dispose of corpses, Easton added silently. Although they should not assume to attribute all missing cases to Metamorphers, considering the connection between the murderers and Warnock's workshop, this possibility can't be ignored. Setting up checkpoints at train stations is the easiest way, but we need to find a proper reason. Sounds like our turn. Easton jumps up and turns on his heels, and is greatly relieved when he sees Zamoya. They'd met already when the man saved his life. This loosens Easton's vigilance. Hold on. Why are you dressed like that? Thanks to the lady, of course. The maximalist in the robe of a wandering priest gave a sly smile. This lady gave us a way out, and we're experts at strikes. What a maximalist way of providing assistance. A drop of sweat slips down the back of Easton's head. But at this moment, he has neither reason nor ground to judge them. He's there not as Detective Easterneaser, but okay, I can't say that name. Apart from analyzing the situation and cooperating with their actions, there's nothing he can do. Wait, hold on. I have a better plan. Easton breathes a sigh of relief. The first smile since he escaped in the train car climbs his face. Before we come to that, do you have any cigarettes? Alright, I think this is a good place to stop here. So I can, like, finish the game on next stream, I guess. Man, this stream was hella dark. For various reasons. I'm hoping since this is near the end that it gets better. Yeah. Edging us for next stream. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. Thea, you better prepare your Minecraft world. I want to see the cafe. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Adios.